Okay, so I've been abandoned by everyone this week, so I figured I would just do game day myself because why? Let's face it, I'm the bright spot of game day. I'm the one who stays on task, and I'm the one who brings all the great factoids. So this will be the Dean Craig Pelton hosted game day where it's just me, unless Stormstopper decides to join partway through or something. Maybe Dream will pop in. Who knows?
Nah.
Dream's not popping in. He'll just play NBA 2K in the background. So we are in Columbus. No, we're not. We're in North Carolina somewhere. I'm not going to give out our exact location, even though most of you have found me on Facebook before. But that's not really important. What is important is the game this week, which is Ohio State taking on Michigan in the Horseshoe. Now, a lot of people have believed that Kotar will be struck by the pipe. Now, Brian Brown was taken out by the pipe Saturday morning. It was a very early Saturday morning, technically at midnightish, but it was also technically at noon. Time's a funny thing in a simulation. So, anyways, let's start off with the Thursday games. I have to look at this on my phone because I'm afraid my internet will mess up if I do anything else. I'm using 3G or 4G from AT&T, so it's great service. If
Do you even have viewers right
you
now?
decide to switch, yeah, I do. I have two viewers.
Wow.
Thank you. So if you decide to switch your service, I would recommend Verizon, not AT&T. Just pointers. Okay, so first of all, Houston took on Rice. Now, Rice had a shot to get bowl eligible. Houston did not want that to happen because they're assholes. They're just greedy assholes who wanted to fuck up the AAC to hopefully give Sophos his bowl spot that Sophos desperately wants and cries over. Okay, so basically, early on in the game, just a couple touchdowns. It was a passing thing. You know, football. You pass the ball, stuff happens, scores. There was an interception. Really, just a game, a usual football game that happens when you watch AAC football. Not a lot of exciting stuff. Houston wound up dominating. Rice was in it early, but then it started to get out of hand because Nathan Milady is just such a good quarterback. He is just so talented. You know, obviously better than Brian Brown. I think if you're voting Brian Brown in your Heisman voting over James Utero, we trust. Uh, I think you're making a great mistake because Brian Brown can't even stay healthy for the entire season. That's just science. You can't deny that. Um, so yeah, but Houston rolled 35-13 over Rice. Rice became bowl ineligible thanks to Houston, which means the AAC only has like 5 or 6 slots, I think, or 5 or 6 teams that are actually bowl eligible. Another game was the Buffaloes, dumb Buffaloes, taking on the Utes. Rome once again so close to being bowl eligible, but he winds up at 5-7, and once again will not have a postseason game. It's just not happening. The Buffaloes close, never quite there. They are fairly decent team. The Pack's very weak, as you can tell by Utah's performance, wound up being 2-10. Just not a lot of great teams in the Pack. They're all around 6-6, except for USC, who's undefeated. Uh, did you guys play Arizona State this week? Or no, that was last week. It's playing UCLA this week, and you're going to lose.
No, not really.
I think you're going to lose.
It's UCLA. UCLA lost to so many shit injuries. It's
Yeah, but
ridiculous.
UCLA is going to beat you because you play like shit.
I'm gonna
I don't
win.
even know if they can hear you, so it may just sound like I'm an insane person.
We're gonna win
Uh,
closely.
if you are talking to me in the shop box, I can't read it because I'm afraid the internet will mess up.
I don't think anybody is. Like
So,
Soko said
thank you.
that this game is depressing. That's
Okay. I'm sure it is. There's no other commentary here. But anyways, TCU took on Texas Tech. Danger was very excited. He was so excited he was gonna have the opportunity to knock out Texas Tech. What was that?
Azul said, "Why am I still watching
Oh, I
this?"
don't know. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? But anyways, so Danger was super excited. He thought he was gonna knock Texas Tech out of bowl eligibility. He was excited. TCU had been on a win streak. They'd won like the last 3 games, being Texas, Baylor, Iowa State, all same caliber. Uh, and they
Oh
didn't get it
shit!
done. They didn't get it done. TCU just got fucking steamrolled by Tech. It wasn't even close. They ran all over them. Sean Evans had 184 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. It was a massacre. It was like the play, except it was just the entire game where TCU was getting steamrolled over and not just Rayleigh Koya getting steamrolled over, even though Rayleigh Koya wasn't playing because, he was injured. And then we had California taking on Stanford. Both teams were at 4-7. It was really just a bragging rights game. It's an old rivalry. The band is on the field. Big thing that happened there. And once again, not a very exciting game. Stanford and Cal were tied going in the fourth quarter. They put it away. Stanford did 17-14 with the field goal, like very early on in the fourth quarter. So it wasn't like at the end of the game. It wasn't very exciting then. I've noticed my viewers have started to decline, probably because this is super depressing. It is. I'm sorry. Blame Ted. Blame Canada. Blame a bunch of people. Actually, I think you should blame Sophos. Because I think Sophos depressed Ted, which led to the chain of events to this being a bad game day. You can also blame Danger being in Texas and then having to drive to Kentucky. That's another thing. You can blame Dream for deciding NBA 2K was more valuable than his brother's sanity. You can blame Ohio State for letting their coach go to Toledo. There are just a lot of things. A lot of things there you can blame. Uh, I don't really know what to do here. I felt bad because there wasn't going to be a game day. People love hearing my analysis. I'm sure they do because I'm cocky. And so I'm wearing these stupid sunglasses and this stupid hat to hide the fact that I'm dead inside. And yeah, so let's keep going through these games now. So the next game, Georgia State at UCF. Georgia State hadn't won a game all year. They're taking on UCF. Greifer's the head coach, or Griefer, or however you pronounce his name. I don't really care enough to learn it. It's not a real name. And it was not close at all. It wasn't. It was 42 nothing. One of Georgia State's better performances on the year. Uh, Bill Garcia got the job done, 14 of 39, 119 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Solid performance. Now, if I'm the Bengals and I need a quarterback, I'm looking at Bill Garcia. I know what you're thinking, but it is a step up from New Battles. I believe that's not true, actually. I think New Battles is better by like a slim margin than Bill Garcia. The weird thing is, I think Aaron T. Dotson runs a pass heavy offense. I'm not really sure the point of it. Uh, Maybe he thought Brian Brown was his quarterback this week or this whole year. Maybe he was just like, we're going to lose. Let's just keep giving Bill Garcia the ball and see if something good happens once or twice a game. I mean, when you're Georgia State, it doesn't really matter what you do. You can do literally anything, and people are just going to point and laugh at you and move on. But, you know, you can't do much when you're carrying that roster, and they are improving. I mean, it's hard to decline with that roster. You can't decline with that roster. But, you know, good luck to you next year, Georgia State. I'm cheering for you as the head coach of Toledo. Um, Anyways, Hawaii took on the San Diego State Aztecs, who were once coached by the Ron Burgundy, I believe. And I believe San Diego is Spanish for whale's vagina. Is that is that correct?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but you are here.
What's going on?
Anyways, not a great game. Oli Vaccaro ran the ball twice for touchdown, which is cool. He's actually their quarterback, and he ran it. So he's the next Aaron Kotar. You know, it's awesome. Good for you, San Diego State. You have
Oh,
touchdowns.
damn.
They beat Hawaii by 1 touchdown. I
Wait,
haven't really seen Brian Kelly's face that much on here. He used to be very active, and
hold
it's
on.
kind of a shame.
I
What?
have a guy out with a sore knee for 8 to 10 months.
Man, he's a pussy.
God damn it, I say it.
Yeah, that's
Sore
just.
knee,
Yeah.
8 to 10
I would
months.
also like to discuss at some point with Pat. Did Pat ever update us on what happened? Because Pat was talking about how he may or may not have had a threesome. I went to eat lunch, and Pat never reported back. So if someone could just say something in the chat box, confirm or deny if
Okay.
anything did happen. With my 3 viewers I have now, it was at 5 at one point, which was exciting. And then people were like, "Man, this is depressing," and stopped watching, which is understandable. But yeah, we have Dream over here doing some research for me. Thank you, Dream.
Uh, I think Sophos lost the link.
Oh, well, let's give Sophos the link, okay, guys? So you guys can do this. You have the link.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We've
You're the
already given it
best
a
viewing
point.
audience ever. Anyway, so the next game on the list, I'll go back to the games now because what else do I have? Uh, Iowa State was playing West Virginia. Now, West Virginia was at one point coached by Ted's friend. Ted's friend is nearly as bad at Blake at setting game plans and was justly fired, I believe, as he like never was on the site, and he appears to have taken Ted away from this game day. So fuck you, Ted's friend. Fuck you, you dick. I'm glad you're fired. You deserve to lose your job. You're an asshole. You're a stupid asshole, Ted's friend. Fucking Ted's friend. Can we beat up Ted's friend?
No.
That's right, I'm weak. All right, so Iowa State does not have an offense. They need to find one. I suggest finding that Orly Vaccaro fellow from San Diego State who ran the ball twice. He's very good.
Wait, you ran the ball twice or you got the touchdown?
He ran in the ball twice.
Okay.
Ran it in for 2 touchdowns.
He only ran the ball twice. That's not much of an
Yeah,
offense.
it's not. But anyway, he is a quarterback.
Yeah, but
So
I know I recruited him, and I didn't get him. And I was upset.
oh, good.
Fucking San Diego
The
State.
press use best you. Anyway, well, I know I take that back. That one time that was super depressing. You know the one like a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago or a week ago. That was
Okay.
sad. That was just full on sad. Back to the game. Anyways, West Virginia rolled 35-14. Um, Baldacci, Baldacci. Not really sure how to pronounce that name either. I'm shit with pronunciations. It'd be good to have someone here to back me up, but once again, no one's here. So, anyways, Baldacci, whatever. Good quarterback, very solid, underrated. Performed well enough to get West Virginia the W. They finish at 4-8. The Cyclones finish at 2-10 because they're a shit football team and they don't have an offense. And the next game up on the schedule was the game of the week. I cannot stress how good of a game this was. Air Force at Colorado State. So much was on the line in this game, and you could see by the way the teams played. Okay, the first quarter, they forced a safety. And then all the way in the fourth quarter, when something happened again and Air Force scored a touchdown, I was like, damn. Final score 7-2. Air Force, I don't know how they pulled that one out. It was just wow. Such a good game. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time reading the stat line. It was just unbelievable. Because I was like, Air Force is going to lose. And then I was like, wait, a touchdown? And I was like, football. Awesome. And then the
Yeah.
Boston
Finally
College
done it.
Eagles took on the Syracuse Orange in what is a game that would used to have been in the Big East at one point, I believe.
Those
Uh,
fucking phone fingers are blocking my vision, you assholes.
Shut up. What are you doing? Stop it. You're ruining game day. You're literally the issue with game day, Patrick. I mean, Dream. Anyways, the Boston College Eagles, a good team. Very good recruiting class brought in by Humphrey Humper or whatever the fuck his name was. Hi there. I believe it was Hi there. If I'm correct, I believe that was one of High's alts. Uh, anyways, how did he have like several good? Were all of his recruiting classes better than mine?
Probably.
I think so too. He must have just had it down. So I think all of his recruits should have to go back into the market and then come to Ohio State or Toledo. Uh, I believe that's fair. Someone back me up here. All right. So were there any developments in the Pat Narduzzi situation, Patrick? I just need to know. Asking for a friend.
No,
Nope. Are they even? Ah, fuck it. Who cares? Anyway, anybody link Sophos?
I don't think so.
God damn it. These people. I will.
No, yeah, no, Discreto. Discreto did.
Thank you, Discreto. Burrito. Anyways, moving on. What was I even talking about? I don't even fucking remember.
Did you
Nick
call me
Hall.
Patrick again?
Yeah, I did. Nick Hall's a good quarterback. Unfortunately, he plays for Syracuse, and Gray Aliens didn't get there soon enough. I guess I don't really know. I don't even know if he's still there or not. Uh, but yeah, Boston College wound up with the victory. They moved to 7-5. They're bowl eligible. I believe, however, it's Caboose, the Caboose guy. He's the head coach.
The Caboose
The
guy?
Caboose guy. I don't know his name. They call it Boost. It's like CMRD Caboose, I think, right? I don't know.
Oh man,
It's a bunch of shit. I'm not in on the lingos. So now we move to the Saturday morning games where Brian Brown and Boise State's hopes and dreams died. Just kidding. They're probably still gonna win just because they're Boise State and they seem to be hugely overpowered somehow. I don't know what that was about. I don't know. It was just kind of weird.
oh man, I can't hear what Doris Burke is saying. Probably something really important.
So, anyways, the Army Knights took on the Navy midshipmen, and holy shit! I mean, you gotta love Army Navy. It's always a good game. Uh, and it wasn't a good game, really. Navy just kind of steamrolled them with their steamships, and the score wound up being 31-7. Hats off to my fellow Ohio State fan, BB Raff. 614, I believe. If I got that all correct, I'm proud of myself. But yeah, hats off to Navy. I'm proud of you. Next game on the slate, we had South Carolina taking on the Clemson Tigers. And let me tell you, that coach, he's the man.
Okay, so the King
He's the man. He's
is
the man.
shooting
He's the man.
83% from the field and
Shut up!
not shooting
Shut
from
up! This is not time to talk about NBA 2K. This is a very important college game day that everyone was looking forward to. So, anyways, the Clemson Tigers, they were playing for bowl eligibility. The Gamecocks just wanted to fuck up Clemson because who doesn't? And the Gamecocks didn't get it done. Wound up being 10-13. Clemson picked the ball off in a good drive from South Carolina. That was crucial. And then they turned that into a field goal with some amount of time. Usually, I'm pretty sure it says the time somewhere. I thought. I don't see any times here. Maybe I'm retarded. Yep, no time. There's no. Oh, excuse me. It went into overtime. Clemson picked the ball. They got a field goal. I'm just retarded. Once again, Dean Craig Pelton is retarded. So then the Dean Deacons take on the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack, I believe they started out the year very poorly, and they made a nice turnaround in order to even get the opportunity to become eligible, and they got the job done. If I remembered everything correctly, which is highly doubtful. I'm very stupid and have a bad memory when it comes to these things because it doesn't really matter. But I'm doing this for you, you three viewers. You're welcome. Anyways, NC State rolled over the former team coached by Hi there. Hi there coached a lot of teams. It was amazing he got it all done. He was able to be in so many places at so many times. It's almost as if he had cloned himself or something, similar to uh, was it Hugh Jackman who cloned himself into the Prestige? That's a spoiler. Oops. What else? If you see the Prestige, that's your fault. Prestige. 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 Who gives a shit? I'm talking about nothing. So the next game on the slate was the Tennessee Volunteers at the Kentucky Wildcats. Now, if Tennessee won, they would have become bowl eligible if they had a coach or if they hadn't already been declared bowl ineligible due to a bowl ban placed on high there. But I don't know if that still applied if like Tennessee had a coach. Would the sanction still be there? Because I think that's how that works in the NCAA. But it's not that guy's fault that Hyder had like several accounts. It's not really anyone's fault. Except so think about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Tennessee's not bowl eligible, nor do they have a coach. But if they did, this would be a discussion. But anyways, yeah, Tennessee lost the game. Kentucky moved to 7-5 and gave themselves better chances of getting into a bowl. I'm not sure if that's in doubt or not. I know Sophos' hopes and dreams are in doubt. If they win, if Michigan wins today, they'll probably go into a bowl. However, I don't think I'm going to let that happen. I hope I didn't let that happen. Uh, Also, I'd like to say to Franz, if you are listening to this, you're not going to lose to Georgia Tech. Stop telling yourself that. I don't know why you think you're going to lose to Georgia Tech. I don't know why you think Trey could do anything that resembles a good game plan. I just don't see that happening. You're going up against a guy whose scheme changed like 3 times in the season. Did he play okay against the team? Yeah. But does that mean you're going to lose? No, you're Georgia. He's Georgia Tech. The only good player he has on his team is a kicker. Let's get real here. All right, so the next game, Vanderbilt took on Missouri. Who really cares? Vanderbilt lost a close one, 21 to 24. Missouri also moves to 7-5, like the Wildcats. It's not like there was anything on the line for Vanderbilt. They're just kind of thrown in the towel at this point. Like, fuck it, who gives a shit? We're Vanderbilt. The usual Vandy strategy. We'll see if Sir Wendell leaves like James Franklin did. Maybe Luna's going to quit his job. Uh, who knows? A whole bunch of things could happen this offseason. Maybe I leave for some school. I wonder which school I would leave for. Uh, the next game was Boise State at Illinois. Now this was a complete massacre in two senses of the word, because not only did Boise State roll over Illinois, Illinois massacred Brian Brown and knocked him out for the season. So thank you, Illinois. I love you. I love you so much. I love you long time. You are my favorite team in the world besides Toledo. And that's a fact. I might just try to throw in rocket power at random times now just to see what happens. Because who cares, really? I mean, maybe if I stopped saying this didn't matter, it would matter more, but who knows? Anyways, Rutgers played Maryland, and Rutgers, with their shitty team that I beat 70 to 10, wound up pulling out a victory thanks to 2 field goals from Clifford Franklin. Now that guy put the team on his back. He had 3 field goals in the second half, and that was en route to a victory, 16 to 14. Rutgers 7-5, and makes themselves likely to actually be in a bowl, and that makes Michigan less likely to be in a bowl. So I really like you, Rutgers. You are a Michigan State fan, I believe, which is cool. I don't hate Michigan State. We both hate Michigan. We're bros. We're state bros. I think that's cool. Wouldn't matter if you wouldn't have beaten us in the big championship game. Hells yeah, it would have been. And Storm is joining us, I believe. I can see the picture of Storm. I guess he's ending this depressing madness. Uh, Again, I look ridiculous. I don't know if this has been discussed or not. I can't see the shot box. I don't even know if anybody's been watching this or talking about it. But I'm going to move on to the next game where the Hoosiers took on the Boilermakers. Now, LDO, I gave my quarterback. You should have done better than you did. I think that's obvious. I've come out Davis. You're going up against Purdue, who always blows games, and then you the game. You beat Michigan, I believe, LDO, and you can't beat Purdue. How? What are you doing? Did you not try? Did you just go to a stag party and forget to send in the game plan? Do British people have stag parties? I don't even know. But the next game on the list, as I roll down here, we had the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the BYU Cougars. Now the BYU Cougars have sent. Now this was a little disheartening as I read this. Not really disheartening. It was actually really warm. They announced where their players were headed on their missions, which I thought was interesting. Now it seems. Now this is weird. I didn't know. Apparently, you can only go to 2 places. You're either sent to stay in the United States, or you go to Somalia. Weirdly, like all the starters and good contributors on the BYU team stayed in the U.S., and then all the guys I'd never heard of went to Somalia, which I thought was weird. But I guess it makes sense. I don't really know. Now it is going to be interesting to me about the NFL prospects out at BYU. I don't know if there are any. There's like David Ortiz last year, Big Poppy. I believe he was out of BYU. Did he go on a mission to what team does he play for? Do you know that?
Packers, I think.
Packers. Did he go? Was his mission to Green Bay? I guess they need some more Mormons there. I've never heard of a Mormon in Green Bay, but then again, I've never really heard of anything in Green Bay besides cheese. Oh yeah, but BYU won, which was awesome. I like BYU. The Storm Mormons. And the last game on the schedule, Duke UNC. Now Storm were here, which he seems to be. I don't really know if he's actually here or not. I see a picture of him here, but I don't know if he's actually here. I'm sure he would have some commentary on this game.
Do you just like not have sound on or something right now?
I don't know, man. But you know,
We lost.
Duke had this game in laps. It looked like they were going to win, but you never can count out touchdown Jesus or the god Pat who sleeps with two women at a time. Apparently, Pat Narduzzi, head coach at the UNC Tar Heels, was allegedly found in bed with two women this morning after a Fourth of July party, according to TMZ reports. So that's a discussion for another time, I guess. But UNC pulled it out of their ass, 31-27. I was impressed, and I'm sure Storm cried a little inside, as he never likes seeing UNC win, even if it's fake UNC. So but, okay, so now that I'm reading the shout box, I've seen Saluna complain about there being no real game day on the last weekend. This is a real game day. I'm doing it, you know. But unfortunately, we couldn't get Ted to join us, or actually, it was really Ted's fault. I felt like Ted could have joined us, but someone had piss in Ted's cereal. Maybe it was Pat Narduzzi. He was really excited about that whole women thing. Maybe Slinky pissed in Ted's breakfast when he made it. Who knows? So many things could have happened. So now I'm going to make my predictions for the Saturday afternoon games. And no one else is here to make their predictions, so I'm going to pretend make predictions for other people. I'm just going to say what could happen on both sides of the story, and then I'm going to say on game day I predicted 100% of the games correctly. And then no one will believe me because no one was watching game day, except for you two viewers, whoever you are out there. Okay, so the first game, SMU at ECU. ECU going to take on Boise State in the AAC Conference Championship game. Everyone's really not excited about that. No one expects anything good to happen. Obviously, Boise State's probably still going to win that game. And we do have Storm, I believe. I believe I can see Storm now.
Yeah, assuming my computer actually continues to cooperate anyway. I actually tried a couple minutes ago and it just shut down on me. But
Okay. I'm going to
anyway,
put
I'm
in some
here,
headphones so I can hear. And then
and I'm
we can
also
actually do
wearing
better
yeah.
predictions. So here we go.
Wait, so what are we doing?
All right. So we're discussing the SMU at ECU game. Did I just fuck stuff up? Okay.
All right. So I can't honestly say I know all that much about ECU. All I know about SMU is from that wild game they had with Kansas
hmm
State a few weeks
Yeah.
back, that 55-51 win where Harvey Fagan
hmm
threw his first, second, third, and fourth interceptions of the season. Uh, so I know SMU is definitely capable of some good quarterback play, but at the
Yeah.
same time, their pass defense can be suspect, and there's certainly a reason why they're well under 500.
hmm Yeah, and with SMU, they have that kind of wild card factor that I think TCU has, but at the end of the day, I like ECU winning this game.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
because I mean, they're going to the conference championship game. You have to be pretty decent if you go to the conference championship game.
No, you don't.
Um,
Not in the AAC. Sorry.
yeah, not,
Yeah, I mean they're what 6-5 right now,
yeah, I believe so. There's just
and five of
Houston's,
those 6 wins are in conference.
yeah, and then you have Houston, which is the second best team in the AAC, arguably. I believe they're 8-4, but they can't play because they're in the same division as Boise, which sucks for Houston because they're actually a fairly decent team, I believe.
Houston's actually I think they're in ECU's division actually.
Are they
Let
really?
me check. Let me check on that.
'Cause that's kind of weird. I felt like Houston would be in.
Yeah, Houston and Rice are tied at 5-2 below ECU.
Oh wow! So just goofed.
Yeah, they just
So that was they were 3-2 OOT. Interesting. Because I believe they finished the year at 8-4. So next game, LSU at Arkansas. I
LSU
don't.
at I don't
Yeah,
know.
at Arkansas.
I mean, isn't Arkansas one of those teams that has talent that just never backed it up? They were ranked early in the
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
They
That was an Orange was the catch. I think without Orange, we just abandon the site and won't respond to someone's messages on Steam. I believe. Uh, it China deflated Arkansas and it deflates their chances. Really, I like LSU to dominate this game without a coach.
both teams without a coach, right?
Um, I think Arkansas does have a coach. So I feel like there was some guy that was like Big Suey or something that joined. Something Arkansas related.
Did he
Or
stay?
Go Hawks. I don't know. I don't think he really ever did anything though. So maybe they don't have a coach. I don't really know what the news is.
I mean,
Except
I,
for oblivious.
I mean, I'd say Arkansas's talent alone makes it a trap game, but I'll still take LSU.
Yeah, exactly. You still gotta like Devereaux or however you pronounce his name. Well, that's kind of weird. Don't know what happened there. Someone just walked in the Storm's room. Uh, anyways, I'll move on to the next game, and that is Auburn at Alabama. I know that Bama's gonna win this game. I just know it deep down.
Yeah, there won't
I don't
be
think
any kick six this time around.
no. It's not. Maybe if Rome were the coach, I'd have some faith in Auburn.
Yeah, but
Uh,
Auburn's been one of those underachievers all year.
yeah, because I mean they don't really have a coach. It's not anyone's recruiting for them right now.
Mhm.
So they're kind of screwed. They get some okay walk-ons, I guess. I mean, you don't really have much going for you if you're Auburn. Then again, I recruit about the same as Auburn, so who knows? The next game is Notre Dame at Miami.
That should be an
Eight
interesting
versus
matchup.
Anna. Yeah, it should be. I don't really know how I expect Miami to do. Last year they had a really good season with Drizzle as the head coach. I think they've declined a bit under Anna. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I'd just be spewing stuff out and asked right now.
I've
Uh,
been I've been very impressed with Miami's ability to stay ranked all season. Seems like they've been like in the lower half of the rankings, but still ranked for
yeah,
quite a while now.
yeah. I think they might try to get up in the standings a bit, and then they lose, and it just keeps them in that area.
Hmm.
I guess the pollsters. I think Anna's bubbly personality keeps her likability factor there. Uh, where it's not a complete asshole in charge of a team, and you're just like, I don't want to rank you. You're a dick. You
That
know?
and that end, I mean, they're still 7-4, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
it's in line with other teams ranked in that region. I mean, the number 25 team, Oregon, is 6-5 at this point.
Quack.
Like, I mean, it's really hard to fill out the bottom part of the rankings just because, like, at
Mhm.
some point, you just got to put
You
someone.
know, yeah. So good job, Miami. Uh,
And you just froze. All right, it looks like I'm by myself for now. So next up is Virginia Tech and Virginia. Hokies haven't had themselves that great a season. I don't recall their record off the top of my head. Virginia, though, looking to clinch the ACC Coastal title. I obviously hope they do so because, as you can see, I'm a Duke fan, and the alternative is Carolina representing the ACC Coastal, and we obviously can't have that. Uh, let's see, Virginia Tech 6-5 so far, so they're bowl eligible. I doubt they'll go to a bowl game, considering that they're probably going to be the ACC's
Oh,
somewhere between
Shit.
their seventh and ninth team. Hey Dean, I'm talking about the Virginia Tech Virginia game now.
Okay,
Uh,
good. I like Virginia. I
oh
think
yeah.
Virginia Tech underperformed all year. I was expecting more polar. Uh, and it's really shitty when I lose connection now, because now we're just fucked if I lose connection. It's just you. It's not. There's a bunch of other people there. There's like Ted's not here. Stupid Ted. Uh, Off topic. But anyways, yeah, I like Virginia. Clem's done a lot of good stuff with this team. They're ranked, obviously, so they're doing something right. Probably in that 7-4 bracket. Is that the team that's going to the AAC champion or ACC championship game? Excuse me.
With a win, they'll go to the championship game. With a loss, it will be Carolina. So
Oh, so
obviously,
you
that's
are rooting
in.
for Virginia.
Oh, I'm rooting hard for Virginia because not only because Carolina going to the ACC championship game is immoral in all respects.
Hmm.
Although I would love to make fun of them for making the ACC championship game in a sim before they ever did it in real life. But also, uh, as coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, I'm still holding on to any hope whatsoever that it can make the playoffs. FSU losing in the ACC championship game would help me with that. And I can't root for Carolina to beat FSU. I can never root for
I think it
Carolina.
would be more likely that Carolina would beat FSU though
Yes, that is also
than
true. You see
Virginia
my
doing it.
dilemma here.
Yeah, I see your dilemma. That's the catch 22.
Hmm.
Uh,
But yeah,
I
just
think I
never
think you
root for
might
a
want to
rival.
root for Virginia Tech here, and maybe
I'm
root
never.
for Meteor
No, no,
blow up the stadium. The sim.
I don't think that's in the sim.
I don't know, man. These sims are pretty realistic these days. I'm thinking that.
I don't think a meteor's hit a stadium in real life
that's
either.
the
But anyway, I'm picking Virginia to win this game. I mean, they've had
Yeah.
some close calls against some bad teams, and Virginia Tech's got some talent. I mean, they were obviously predicted to do better than they actually ended up
Yeah.
doing. But
Blake Shell's a good quarterback. I think that's Virginia Tech's quarterback. He's like
but yeah,
an 80.
it's gonna be Virginia's coaching putting them over the edge. There's a reason they've
Hmm.
won all these close games.
Yeah. Or you'd like to believe that,
Well,
or it's just
yeah.
could just be luck. But next game, you're involved, so I guess you're just gonna give us your keys to the game here. Kansas at Kansas State.
This is going to be well. I hope it's not a fun one because if it's a fun one, that means it's close.
Yeah.
But we're obviously going to see a contrast of two different styles. Kansas State, they're going to pass all day. Harvey Fagan can take them all the way to the edge or over the edge.
Hmm.
Early part of the season, he was one. He was actually a pretty good quarterback. It's just that he's
Yeah.
thrown 10 interceptions in 4 games now. Whereas
Hmm.
Kansas, obviously, we're going to run the ball. James Otero, Heisman finalist, like he could finish with the Big 12 lead in rushing. I think he was number 3 in the country heading into this
Yeah.
week. And Christopher Brooks can run the ball as well.
Hmm.
He's probably one of the more underutilized quarterbacks in the Big 12, and that's intentional because James Otero.
So you
Um,
basically have Ohio State's offense light.
Light, I object to that.
It's very similar to our offense, though. I'd say.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you got a scrambling quarterback and a good running back, you got to make use of both of them on the
Yeah.
ground. Like
Exactly.
it's no good to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think Kansas wins it because I think we have the better offense, the more consistent one,
Mhm.
and I don't think Kansas State's defense can get enough stops.
Yeah.
Simple as
I
that.
think you win 42-14. That's my
I
prediction.
I hesitate to make that kind of prediction. I predicted 31-17 in my preview because I really do think Kansas State's offense is capable, assuming they can hold on to the ball.
Yeah, but their defense is really shitty because they allowed what 55 points to SMU.
They also gave up a lot of those points through the air, and again, I'm not attacking them through the air.
Yeah, that's true, but I still think you guys get it done. I think Kansas wins
Mhm.
big, or at least moderately big. But I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, hope I'm right too. Because I just cheer for Kansas for some reason. I like seeing Kansas ranked high. It reminds me of Todd Reesing in like 2009 or whatever year that was.
Yeah.
Next game on the slate, we have Arizona State at Arizona. This is a good game.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
See, Arizona State is they're 5-6, right? On the
um,
precipice.
I want to say
Yeah,
they're better than that.
5-6 on the precipice of bowl eligibility here.
Oh,
How incredible would it be for Arizona to keep their rival home for the winter?
oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I have no clue who's gonna win this game.
I like
Um,
Arizona to win it. Like they're at home.
yeah,
Their defense. Their defense is pretty strong too.
yeah.
I'm not quite sure how they're only 6-5, but then again,
I think
I'm
that
also
might be
biased towards
Neil's
the team they play
coaching.
against.
That could also be just maybe not enough talent there. Maybe the pack's just a little bit better. I'm not really sure. Neil's a great recruiter. I don't know if he's seen that translate to wins yet. I don't know if he'll do that in the future or not. See, that's the thing with his team. I'm not sure if it's his coaching holding them back or it's that they're not quite there yet.
Yeah, and we'll see over time what the case turns out to be.
Now, I believe Arizona State last year kicked Colorado out of a bowl with a victory in the final week of the season. So it'll be interesting to see if Arizona can kick Arizona State out in the last week of the season. We'll see. I believe that's
And I have been
accurate.
doing so.
So I have to reload the phone here. And the next game up we have Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh.
at Penn State. A lot of shit talking going into this game, I believe. Uh, Mainly from Saluna. Saluna just seems very angry about Pittsburgh existing.
I mean, it's a terrible city, sure. Not the
Yeah,
worst in the world.
sure.
That honor belongs to. Uh, I'll I'll let you pick between Cleveland and Detroit for that honor.
Let's go with Detroit.
No, it's Cleveland. Sorry.
Ah, at least Cleveland didn't go completely bankrupt. I think we have that going for
You
us.
lit a river on fire. Anyway,
Uh, hey, now we have the
I'm
best
picking.
water in the world, or some of the best water in the nation.
This is a better
Anyway,
game than usual. A plus.
anyway, I am
Totally
going
beat
to.
right now, essentially.
hmm
Which,
What are you gonna?
Okay, I'm going to disappoint Saluna here and say I think Pittsburgh's going to
Oh,
pull the upset on the road.
oh! I do not see that happening. James Dale is way too inconsistent for me to ever say Pittsburgh's gonna win a game outright. I think Pittsburgh
And Penn
keeps
State
it
hasn't been
close.
inconsistent.
Has he? Well, excuse me. He seems to be where it shows up. Pittsburgh's inconsistent. Let me say that, not James
No,
Dale.
I'm saying James Dale. I'm not disagreeing that James Dale is inconsistent. I'm
Okay.
saying I'm not sure I've seen consistency out of Penn State either. Like they
Oh,
have a
okay.
lot of close calls. They nearly lost to Maryland of all teams. You know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
I,
And
I think
Indiana too,
it's
I believe.
maybe a bit of a reach, sure. And I'm not even sure if I'm not sure what I picked in the pick'em either.
Yeah.
But if James Dale has a good game, I think Pittsburgh can pull the road upset.
I think Dale throws like 287 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he also throws a couple interceptions. And I think Penn State does enough to get the victory. I think they win like 21-17 or something along those lines. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Penn State gets the job done. It continues to show that the Big Ten is the best conference in the Seb.
Yeah, I mean they are, but
Yeah. Can't
and
dispute that. That's just a fact, basically.
unfortunately. Anyway, next up is Georgia at Georgia Tech.
I've discussed this earlier. Franz is so concerned he's going to lose this game. There is no chance in my mind that Franz loses this game. Trey is a coach who has changed his game or scheme like 3 times this year. And maybe that's why Georgia Tech's performed so poorly. And maybe it was all just like this big scheme to just beat Georgia at the end of the year. But Trey also thought he was going to beat USC, and he lost 42-10,
17.
42-17, excuse me. And
Pretty
I
sure.
think it's very similar because I think USC and Georgia are on the same level performance-wise, and it's not going to be close. Weathersby can't lead the team to victory. That's just not going to happen. Georgia rolls over Georgia Tech, in my eyes, at least. What do you?
Oh, I agree. I do
Go to
think
you now.
Georgia Tech's got something up its sleeve. I mean, Trey was talking about perhaps making a scheme change in Week 12. I don't know if he actually
Mhm.
did, considering how close that game was, a 24-19 home loss to
I think
Pittsburgh.
he did, and that's why he was so surprised that he was like, "Oh shit, my team actually did good." But
Yeah,
I don't know.
and I mean, there's a good chance that means he's going back to the scheme he started with, which obviously works a lot better than the one where that got him crushed 35-17 by a coachless at the time Duke Blue Devil squad.
Yeah,
Uh,
agreed.
So, I mean, I still think Georgia wins handily, though. I mean, they're
Yeah,
just
handle.
that good of a team. Their only loss was by a last-second field goal in Week 1. They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna waltz into the SEC championship game at 11 and
Mhm.
1, and then it depends on who they play. And I don't even know what the tiebreaker scenarios are in the East either. No, the West.
I think it's Bama going, isn't it? Wait, shit, no, because
There's three 5-1 teams right now, so we don't even know until all three games are played.
it could be LSU, couldn't it?
What'd you
Are they
say?
5-1? It could be LSU, couldn't it? LSU, because they beat Bama, didn't they?
Yeah, I think LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama. I think they're
Oh,
all
they
1-1
all.
against each other.
So does it go highest record, or
I
excuse me,
don't
highest
know.
ranking?
I don't know. Let
Man, we
me
should.
check on what the SEC tiebreakers are.
So maybe it eliminates LSU because they've lost another game outside of conference, I'd imagine, and then you wind up with Bama and Ole Miss, and then Bama would advance,
So the
maybe.
tiebreaker after head-to-head is record of the tied teams within the division, and then records against the team within the division with the best overall record. And since they all lost to each other, I think those should still be
Yeah,
tied because, and then
yeah,
complete
I think
record
so too.
versus non-division teams. Then all common
So
non-division
that
teams again are
means
still undefeated. Um, record versus okay, next one's another record against common non-divisional teams. They're still tied. Then the tied team with the highest ranking in the BCS standings following the last weekend of the regular season games, which if we
so we're
translate
looking.
that into this, that means highest ranked team in the polls, which at this point is Alabama,
So Alabama, with the victory, advances provided Ole Miss
provided they don't
doesn't
slip in the
lose.
polls. Mm-hmm.
So if Ole Miss lost, you
Ole Miss lost
see
and it just reverts to a two-team
Alabama,
tiebreaker.
and then LSU would get it because that's head to head.
Right. So if any of the
But
three
LSU would
lose,
also
then
have,
the what'd you say?
LSU would also have to win in that scenario. So we're looking at basically it's up in the air, but
It could
Alabama
be anybody,
controls. Okay, so if
depending on who loses or
LSU
wins this week.
wins, Alabama wins. But if Ole Miss loses, then LSU's in. How did they win?
I'll take your word for it. I don't have the head-to-heads in front of me right now.
All right, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, LSU definitely beat Bama because I'm
Okay,
pretty
LSU
sure
beat
I
Bama,
thought.
Alabama beat Ole Miss, and Ole Miss beat LSU.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah. I think that's true. So I was trying to think. How many times has LSU lost? 'Cause they also lost to Boise.
And they lost
Did
a
they,
third game.
did they lose to Notre Dame or did they beat Notre Dame? I think they lost to Notre Dame.
I
That was like week 3, I think, if I had to guess.
Let me check on that. Week 3 they beat Mississippi State, so it wasn't that.
Ah, damn it.
Um, um,
4? Try week 4.
yeah, week 4 they lost 17-16 to Notre Dame.
There we go. I was
So
off by a
pretty.
week.
So yeah.
Pretty close.
Mhm.
And the next game up on our list here, Washington at Washington State. I don't think
Washington
Washington
rolls.
State stands a chance.
They have not just been playing badly, they've also been underperforming with respect to the game lines as well. I
Yeah,
pick like my strategy like whenever I see Washington State, I always pick against them considering that ever since their coach just sort of
yeah,
abandoned the
Josh.
team, they just haven't been competitive.
We missed you, Josh, if you're out there somewhere. listening to Game Day for some reason, for nostalgia purposes. Uh, but no, I see Washington. Even though TCTY Kill has made some bad decisions in the past, I think he advances, and that means he goes to the Pac-12 championship game, if I'm correct, which I'm pretty sure I am.
What do you say?
If Washington wins, they go to the Pac-12 championship game, correct?
Yes, win and they're in, lose, and I don't remember if Oregon's in automatically or if Oregon has to win. Yeah,
I think
Oregon
Oregon
would
would
have
have
to
to win.
win. Oregon would have to win.
Yeah,
They are playing in conference against Oregon State,
yeah.
and all three of those
So
teams, incidentally, are 6-5. This is
everyone in the Pac-12 is like
like
6-5,
the Pac-12
except
has
for
five 6-5 teams right now.
yeah,
Five
it's
six and
it's
five,
ridiculous.
an 11-0, and 5-6.
Yeah,
They're gonna have 5 or 6 bowl eligible teams with 6 or 7 wins,
yeah.
and
That's
one
just
of those could
ridiculous.
get an Access Bowl.
Gotta love the way the sim works sometimes
Yep.
in
AAC
mysterious ways
West
behind
right
the rules.
there.
Yeah.
Actually, but then
So
again, I can't give the ACC a break either. They don't have
yeah,
very many teams too far above 500 either.
yeah. It's a little ridiculous. Basically, it needs to be like either. I think it basically needs to be a big team that goes. Are we the ones that are dominating that high the rankings basically?
I mean, the Big Ten and the SEC are the teams at the top,
Oh
although
yeah,
the SEC
they're
has 4 ranked teams total, but they're all
yeah.
pretty highly ranked.
Oh yeah. Have Georgia,
Oh,
LSU, Bama, and Ole Miss. So yeah, I guess the SEC is going to get shorted a couple spots, and then maybe the Big some too. Because I know
I mean,
Slinky's looking for one of
pretty
that
much
large
close
bids.
to the rest of North Carolina.
yeah, I'm sure one of the large bids has to go to the best Big Ten non-division champion,
Hmm.
and then the other one. I mean, I would have thought Notre Dame earlier, but since they
Yeah,
lost that second game, that's going to be a lot harder.
yeah. Who did they lose to again? It's slipping my mind right now. It wasn't. Oh, it was Stanford, wasn't it? They lost to Stanford.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not going to an Access Bowl. You can't lose to Stanford and go to an Access Bowl.
What's wrong with losing to Stanford? Academic
Well,
schools can be good at football too.
yeah, but when they're 5-7, you can't lose them. They should be four
Details.
and eight right now. I like Stanford, but in this sim, they're total shit right now. Maybe in a couple years.
So according to
Uh,
Saloon in the shop box, Josh Gordon just got arrested in North Carolina. Did you invite him over to your house or something?
yeah, Fourth of July party, man. You had to bring Josh Gordon over here. Ah, god damn, that's like double whammy for me. One of my guys getting arrested in damn it. Now Manziel's gonna have to throw to like Brian Hoyer at wide receiver. I don't even
I
know
mean, no, I mean all he's got to do is just jump into his own offensive line, run out to the side, make
exactly.
that pass to the open receiver. That game still haunts me.
Oh yeah, that I mean, I was cheering for Duke. But man, that was fun to watch. You gotta give Mansell credit. He's fun to watch.
Yeah,
I imagine
exactly.
just watching Touchdown Jesus. I imagine that's what it'd be like. He's just erratic. He's a wild card. There's gonna be
Yeah,
reports on the scene of TG Jesus partying it up in Vegas.
yeah. Like I just can't even get mad at Texas A&M for that game. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, sure, we were up 3 touchdowns and blew it, but I
yeah.
mean, we got beat. We just got beat by a better player. No shame in that.
I would think I
Hopefully,
was
Kansas
watching
State
the
knows that
Duke
feeling
SU
tonight.
game on my computer. No, I'm just remembering this randomly. The ACC championship game. I was watching. I think because it was also at the same time during the big championship game, so I had them
It
both
was.
open, and then I remember after the first quarter, I was excited because it was still close.
It was tied at
And then
zero
shit,
zero. We were the first team to hold and
yeah, and
score
then
for the first quarter. That was pretty cool.
yeah, and then shit went down, and then FSU pulled away, and then shit went down in the big championship game, and then I had to eat sadly. It was bad, you
Mhm.
know, bad night overall.
Anyway, should we go ahead and get to the
Nothing went the
evening
way I
games?
wanted it to. Oh yeah, evening games. So Oklahoma at Oklahoma State.
Mm. This is going to be interesting. I have no idea how this game's going to go down. I mean, on the
Yeah.
one hand, you have Oklahoma State bringing their great defense. On the other
Yeah.
hand, you have Oklahoma bringing Norris Brookshire at quarterback, most likely. Um,
Yeah.
like if it were Robert Price, I'd be more inclined to favor Oklahoma State in this ball game
Yeah.
because he might throw a couple of picks. He'll have trouble throwing
Exactly.
touchdown passes. I don't know if
Mhm.
Brookshire is any better than Price though. At least not
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
He,
I don't. You can't really tell.
in his
But
one game against Texas, though, he led them to a win. And on the other hand,
which is
Oklahoma State really doesn't have that much of an offense. Like
yeah.
they scored 7 points on Baylor, for example,
Uh,
7 on Kansas State. Like
so they're basically Iowa State level offense here.
better than Iowa State level offense. Let's not get carried away here.
All right. But yeah, I don't. I'd like to see an Oklahoma State Iowa State. Did that game happen?
That game should never be allowed to happen. It would be the
But
final score. The final score would be 0 to -2.
um,
Anyway, I
basically, I'm going to pick Oklahoma out of respect for Ted, even though he couldn't join us today. Uh, I don't think this day gets worse for Ted. Ted was down earlier.
Why was he down?
Sophos.
Why?
I don't know. But yeah, I got Oklahoma here. I like them doing the thing to victory.
Yep, and I have Oklahoma as well. I have them winning and covering the 3.5 point spread,
All
and
right.
that's mainly because I don't see Oklahoma State scoring enough points to catch up to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Watch it be like 14-3, but I mean, I don't. Still, 2 scores is better than anything Oklahoma State can do.
I will say the
Um.
one thing to look out for in this game, Booker T. Washington, Oklahoma State's running back.
Oh.
He has way too many yards to have as few touchdowns as he does. He's at 1,362 yards and I think 9
Hmm.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Oklahoma's run defense, I tore that apart in
Yeah. I was gonna
week
say
1.
Oklahoma State has a very good secondary. Now they didn't play like it against West Virginia, but they do have a good secondary. It's like one of the
Yeah,
best in the sim.
Severs is one cornerback
Uh,
I would never want to throw at.
and then you have a good free safety. I'm trying to remember his name right now. I have him going to Sean Burton, I believe is his name. I'm going to Miami in my mock draft, which was criticized by everyone on the site because I had Brian Brown falling to 4.
I
Because
mean,
I
you
thought it
can't
was
like
funny to have him get drafted by the military. That's why I did it. Okay,
yeah. Brian
that
Brown's
was
not
the
falling to
only
4.
part. Yeah, I know. He actually, it's possible that he falls to 3, but he's not falling. He's not falling
He's not
past
falling
3.
past 2. I don't think he's
No,
falling past 2.
he won't. He won't. He'll either not fall past 1 or he won't fall past 3. If he goes to Detroit, Detroit will pass on Brian Brown for Keyshawn. I believe. I believe it's factual. But
Detroit would
that's for
Detroit would be. Let me just say that would be a wasted opportunity to pick Keyshawn at number 2 when you can trade down for someone who you
yeah,
know wants Brian Brown and pick Keyshawn slightly later in the draft.
yeah. But the thing is, it's a lot harder to make trades when you have like 5 time here and you can't actually make phone calls and stuff. You're basically sending a PM and hoping no one responds. You're just
Which is
posting in the
why you
shout
gotta.
box, someone make trade, please.
Which is why I mean, you got to start those PMs well in advance of the draft too. Like you can make
Yeah.
these deals well in advance.
And this is why you're a good choice to take over as the Browns owner. You
What'd you
think this
say?
stuff, man. I said
Yeah,
this
I
was why
mean,
you were a good choice to take over as the Browns owner.
I'm hoping the Browns can do well in the draft. I'm not going to say too much about what we're thinking about. That's not really my place, but
Yeah.
uh, I'm
I
pretty
can no
excited
longer
about
read the
next year.
forum, so you're welcome there. I told Saluna I could still read the forum, and then I believe he's taken away my access.
Yeah, he changed his
So,
password. I wasn't
yeah.
actually told about the password change until a couple of days later.
On to the next game, because I think we've been
Yeah,
off
we should get
topic a
back
bit
on
here.
topic.
Mississippi State at number 10, Ole Miss. I don't think I'll give Mississippi State the Mississippi State chance here. Uh, I don't think they beat Ole Miss. People didn't think they beat FSU either. They don't have a coach, I don't think. That may be inaccurate. Maybe someone took them over. Uh, but Cleveland Merrill is such a good player, and Ole Miss's defense is so strong. I think they shut down Mississippi State in this game.
I think so too. I mean, Mississippi State's upset over Florida State makes absolutely no sense from the perspective of
Yeah,
either team involved. Uh, but yeah, Mississippi State just does not have the guns offensively to puncture Ole Miss's defense. It's
yeah.
going to be ugly. Um, I think I'm gonna say Mississippi State won't score a touchdown.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a prediction. Not sure if it's bold or not. It's pretty close to a bold prediction. I don't know. I feel like they could score a touchdown. I like Justin Hunter as quarterback. He seems to always show up, even though he's only like a 2 out of 4. Uh, he always plays seemingly decent, at least. Better than some quarterbacks who are like fives and put up shit numbers. It's better than Tommy Fall, at least. Um, Moving on to the
Mhm.
next game, I guess. I don't know if there's any other discussion here. Number 12, Nebraska at number 8, Michigan State. This is a good game. This is maybe the best game this week. Uh, I'm not
Only
partial.
there's only a
So,
couple of us that really have any argument.
yeah, Ohio State, Michigan, just because it's the game. But then also have, it's basically big games that are the best games this week. Just a good week for the
Pretty
conference.
much. I've also got my eye on Baylor, Texas,
Yeah,
but I'm biased toward the
yeah.
Big 12. So
Yeah, that's going to be a good game, too.
um,
I honestly don't think Ohio
yeah,
State, Michigan
Nebraska.
winds up being that good a game. Uh, I just feel like it's going to end poorly for Michigan somehow. I feel like we're just going to roll, and it's not going to be close. I just,
I mean, you thought so. You probably thought so in real life too,
yeah, but
though.
it feels a lot like the Penn State game where I was worried going in, and then it wound up being 38-10. Or
But then again, we should probably talk about
oh yeah,
Nebraska,
yeah,
Michigan
yeah,
State
yeah.
before we get down to that.
Um,
Um, I got Nebraska winning this one.
really,
Um,
ooh,
yes, I mean, first of all, I just don't see Nebraska losing three in a row.
yeah,
Uh, I think this is a mashup between two fantastic coaches, two Coach of the Year candidates, if
yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Uh, and I don't know. I don't really have all that much to back it up. I just have a gut feeling that Nebraska wins this game on the road.
See, I mean, yeah, you have Keena Kane. I believe he's back from injury. I feel like he was been back from injury for the Nebraska, but they haven't been playing that well lately. They lost to Wisconsin. They lost to another team I'm not remembering on. I'm blanking. Maybe was it Iowa? I don't even know.
Um,
I'm losing my damn mind here. But
it was Northwestern by one,
Northwestern. Yeah,
14-13,
Northwestern. They lost to
and
Northwestern.
a pretty darn good Northwestern team.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the
Like
day, Michigan State at home pulls this one out. I think Michigan State's defense is good enough, and I think Bobby Vigor, however the fuck his name is pronounced, is good enough to lead this team to victory.
Yep, we'll just have to see. I mean that's
Yeah.
got to be one of the two games of the week, and I'm not. And unfortunately for you, I'm not counting Michigan Ohio State as one of the two. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be
No, that's good for
Wisconsin
me. That's good for
Minnesota.
me. Unless, because I mean, if you thought it was going to be closer, I guess that'd be a better game. Uh,
I didn't say that,
but
but
anyways, the Big Ten's got like 4 good games this week that are all prime
yeah,
time. This would be really shitty if you're ESPN. You had to like choose which game to play for the Saturday evening.
yeah. Like if we were actually ESPN,
Yeah, I guess you'd have to open up ESPN 8 the Ocho and play some of these games because there's a lot of good games here. But yeah, I like Michigan State winning, even though they don't have the best offense like Sleeky Jr. to lead this team to victory. I don't doubt Sleeky. I think I always just pick Slinky because he used to put Ohio State number 1 in his polls, and I'd be like, thank you, Slinky. So I'm giving him respect. Next game, Oregon State at Quack, number 25, Oregon.
let's see. So Oregon, I actually didn't realize they were ranked until I checked the polls a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
So good for them, sitting
yeah,
at 6-5, bowl eligible.
like
Um,
the Quacks.
and and Oregon State, of course, also sitting at 6-5 because it's the Pac-12.
Yeah,
Oregon's going to be going all out for this one because
yeah,
they need it. They need it for any hope of appearing in the Pac-12
yeah,
championship game. And then they're going to need help from Washington State that they're probably not going to get.
yeah,
Um, I still have Oregon winning this one. I think they're the better team.
yeah.
Um,
Folks need to look at game day.
but I have,
Oh,
what was
sorry.
that?
Do you not
Oh,
just like
nothing.
look
He
at the
just said that
recent
Sophos needed to
like
link to game day again.
do you not just like look at his recently closed tabs?
But anyways, yeah. So
Um,
continue. Sorry for
no,
laughing.
I was pretty much done. I just think Oregon's the better team. Um,
Yeah,
although their rush defense also suspect, but I don't know how well Oregon State runs the ball.
yeah. I mean, I guess their pass defense really suspect too, because they allowed however many yards to Boise State's backup quarterback, who's a 1.5 of 2.5. Um, I'm gonna pick Oregon State on a hunch. I don't have any data or anything to back it up. I mean, I don't usually have data when I make predictions, but I usually say something sensible. Um, I just think Oregon State wins this game. I just have a gut feeling deep down that Oregon loses here, and it doesn't even wind up mattering if Washington State wins or not. I am taking Oregon State.
All right.
So we'll move on to the next game, which is Wisconsin, who's number 7, at number 13, Minnesota.
The other Big Ten game of the week.
Yeah, this is a doozy. Bingo's had everything going right for him lately. He had a kid, so I guess maybe he'll try to lure the kid and coaxing Wisconsin away from victory. I think Wisconsin might be caught looking forward to the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State. I highly doubt that happens to Sim.
Yeah,
I don't think he can
I,
actually do that. But
and the only way that happens is if the coaches sort of gets a bit lazy in game planning and
yeah,
sort of. But on the other hand, Wisconsin's going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder.
yeah, he feels like
They despite what yeah, he feels like he's just disrespected because he's ranked as that low despite all his good wins. They've been by slim margins. None have been like
yeah,
particularly like stand out. But anyway, they absolutely need this win if they want to make the playoff, and which is why, of course, I have to root for Minnesota to beat them, and then Wisconsin to
exactly.
beat Ohio State, or for Michigan to beat Ohio State, and then Ohio State to beat Wisconsin. One or the other, or both.
hmm
But um,
let's hope not both, and let's just hope that I win out, and then you get a bowl slot too, or you get a playoff slot too. I think that's
um,
I think that's good for us.
sure, but I'd
I'll
rather.
just root for everyone else's demise with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just kind of want to watch the world burn as well. So if everyone
Yeah.
loses, that's fine with me.
So if
Um,
Kansas loses, you're okay.
not that. We need as many one-loss and two-loss conference champions as possible,
Yeah.
and me to be one loss.
But
But
I've got another one of those hunches here where I think Minnesota might pull this one out. I really like the running back OJ Carano. I believe that's his last. I don't know the actual pronunciation. Once again, I'm really shit with pronunciations. But Juice, he's very solid. I believe he's left to go pro this year. Um, this is his last really big game, and he has a chance to prove himself. I think them being at home gives them a slight advantage again. Um, Minnesota
and
always seems to
Wisconsin's
win
rush
these
defense
games.
hasn't necessarily been the best in the country. They've
Yeah,
given
exactly.
up 920 yards on the ground so far, which isn't terrible. It's just
Yeah, it's respectable.
you want to be lower. Um,
Yeah,
but on the other hand, Wisconsin's quarterback Eric Wiegert, he's been tearing up the league. Um,
yeah.
he won that duel against Baylor's Joshua Andrews all those weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
and he's why I'm picking Wisconsin. And I swear I'm not just trying to disagree with you on every single pick for
Yeah, yeah,
picking
yeah, I
sides.
understand. Uh, maybe I'm just trying to disagree with you for uh, like an ESPN first take type thing here, but yeah, I'm picking Minnesota just for funsies, I guess. I maybe it's because of Goldie the Gopher. I've always liked him. Best mascot in the game by far. I'm gonna pick Minnesota. I like Toronto leading Minnesota to victory here
And I
somehow.
will I will note that Minnesota is favored by 2.5 points in this ball game.
That's interesting to me. I don't know if I agree with them being should be favored. I feel like Wisconsin should be favored, but I'd pick
And
Minnesota.
the
So
picks are
I
about
guess I'm just a
even
contradiction.
split, slightly in Wisconsin's favor, 6-5.
Yeah, yeah. So next game, not really as important here. You have Florida State at Florida.
Oh, that's important. That could determine a playoff spot
Yeah,
if someone else misses. Like FSU is first in line.
yeah, but the way Florida's been playing lately, you feel like Florida State's going to win this game. I think. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind
I
that Florida wins.
mean, maybe, but Florida State's been beating up on ACC competition that hasn't been the strongest. And
Yeah, yeah,
Florida, for all its underachieving, they've got some talent on that roster. It's not
yeah.
like they're quite possibly the underachiever of the year, and that's unfortunate for them. But
Uh,
I think they could stun the Seminoles. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think Florida State wins, but I'm saying this game could be closer than people are expecting.
so we're going to give them the Mississippi State chance.
Well, see the Mississippi State chance. Yeah, I think so.
So we're going to give. All right. So Florida has the Mississippi State chance. We're going to pick
Yes.
Florida State to win. Now the big game here. I'm going to have to give my keys to the game. Michigan at number three, the Ohio State University. I'll let you give your analysis first.
Ooh. Okay. Obviously, Michigan's offense has been hurting without Rob LeCount,
Yeah.
and Ohio State's offense has been just in. They've been going full speed. Like they took over the rushing lead from Kansas with that performance against Rutgers,
Yeah. We're at like what 400 yards rushing.
against a completely depleted Rutgers team, I might add. But
Okay.
no, no, I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I think Ohio State ought to be favored by a large margin in this game. I think I actually picked Michigan to cover. That might be more wishful thinking than anything else. But I do think Michigan's defense ought to give them a fighting shot because their
Yeah.
offense sure won't. Um,
Yeah.
I just don't think. I don't think Michigan can possibly outgun Ohio State. So if
Mhm.
Ohio State can get a couple early scores, I think it'll be over quickly. But
Yeah.
we could always be surprised and see something like what happened this year, where Michigan was just that 2 point conversion short of winning at Ohio State
Mhm.
in the second best game of the day.
Yeah. See, there's that fear in the back of my mind that Tommy football will actually play like a 5.0. Because I believe when you have of a 5.0, you have that potential for a game where you
Yeah,
play like that.
you can sometimes have the game of your life, aka the Mississippi
And
State game.
I figure if it's gonna happen, it's gonna wind up being happening up against my team deep down. So
I
there's that
really,
fear in the back of my mind. So my key to the game, first of all, is that no one takes out Aaron Kotar. If someone takes out Kotar, we're not exactly screwed because I still think Glenn Spencer could step in and be
but all
a
bets
fairly
are off.
decent quarterback. We have so many good wide receivers, it doesn't scare me, and he fits perfectly in with the scheme I run. Because it's not like he's that much different of a quarterback. He's basically Kotar light, but Kotar's a huge dude. I think it's pretty hard to take him out. I feel like Sophos is relying on that happening, and I feel like it's a lot harder to take out Aaron Kotar than you might imagine. But
That's still
because like Kotar's like 6'6", 200 something pounds. He's a dude, if I remember seeing it correctly. So I feel like deep down my guys are going to step up. My offense is good enough. But the real key to the game is Marcus Berry. If Berry doesn't rush like a maniac, then it's going to be close. But if he goes off, which he has in the past, those games are never close. If he gets 150 plus, it's game over. Ohio State wins. It's not even there's not even a doubt in the back of my mind. Unless
of course, he's also
Kotar
probably
gets
not
it.
getting. Of course, he's also probably not going to get 150 plus if you're not winning in the first place.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we'll see how that turns out. I obviously got to say go blue, even though I hate both Michigan and Ohio State. Uh,
Okay, well if you're gonna hate, yeah, hate both of us. I'm okay with that.
like I say, the only good thing about Michigan fans is that they hate Ohio State. The only good thing about Ohio State fans is that they hate Michigan.
Okay, fair enough.
I just have a lot of hatred in me. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
that's fine.
Next up, Northwestern at Iowa, two teams that have really come on strong as of late. And I believe, I mean,
Yeah,
didn't they both beat undefeated Big Ten teams in the same week, like Wisconsin and Nebraska?
I believe that might. Yeah, I think that happened. Cause Iowa's okay. Iowa's a very good team. They played me close. I think most of their close games. I could be wrong on that. I don't necessarily have the data in front of me, but I believe they nearly beat me. It was like 21-20 because I remember freaking out on game day that I was about to lose to Jarius
Um,
Jones,
Let me
but we
check
knocked him out of the
on
game and I survived.
that.
But I think Iowa wins this game just because I've played Iowa and they scare the crap out of me.
In Oklahoma
Uh,
State's defense. Um,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
24-23
Oh
in whichever city University of Iowa's in. I know Iowa State's
yeah.
in Ames, but I can't remember for the life of me where Iowa is. Um,
It's like so like Iowa City. I don't even. I don't know. Where's Iowa located?
Iowa?
Yeah,
the university, not the state. The state is we know where
yeah.
the state is.
The university.
Oh man, they are in.
Okay, he's just gonna Google it. But anyways, yeah, Iowa's a good team. Jarius Jones, great quarterback. I believe that's their quarterback's name. Or I've just lied. Um, and I like them pulling off the victory. Now, Northwestern's a very good team. If they would add a coach this whole
Iowa
year, who
City.
knows? It is Iowa City.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Okay.
Iowa.
Hey.
Seriously,
Yeah, like
seriously, Iowa City. We don't have a North
Yeah.
Carolina city.
That would just sound ridiculous, though. That's too many. I don't think you can have a city if you have two. Oh wait, no, I
We
take that
don't
back. NYC.
we don't have an Illinois city, an
Yeah.
Indiana city, Ohio
No.
City. Well, Ohio City. There'd be a lot of jokes to make about that, but uh, anyway, Iowa City. You don't deserve a city named after your state, Iowa. I'm sorry, you just don't.
But anyways,
Wait,
yeah,
what did I say that I'm getting amens for from
maybe
Selena?
maybe it was the
May-
Iowa thing,
I,
the Iowa rant. Maybe no,
no,
it was the
I just,
Michigan. It was the Michigan thing
oh,
where you
okay, yeah,
said
yeah.
Michigan fans. The only good thing is they Ohio State. And the only thing about Ohio State fans that's good is they hate Michigan. Um,
I love them
but
reminding
yeah,
me of 1992. But anyway, back to the Northwestern Iowa game.
yeah,
Uh, I mean, I've got Northwestern winning because I
yeah,
think their defense is gonna shut them down.
the Lakers
Um,
are a 63 overall.
yeah.
wait,
Sorry, I
what did
don't.
Dream say?
No, he's talking about NBA 2K. He's
Okay,
just holy
They're
god damn, they're
60.
so bad. Okay, anyway,
okay. So now
yeah,
Chatbox is just catching up with us talking about Iowa City already.
okay.
So I'll keep an eye on that. But
I
so
thought I just pulled that out of my ass. I didn't even know Iowa City was a thing.
yeah, Northwestern, their passing offense has amassed the majority of their offensive production, and their rush defense has been. Let's just say they've already given up over 1,000 yards.
Hmm.
That's not necessarily where they want to be. Um, Whereas Iowa, they do they run the ball at
They
all?
pass. I think they
They
pass a
they
lot.
they do they. This can't be right. It says they have the spreadsheet says they have 290 rushing yards. Is that right?
I doubt it. Maybe.
Like
I mean, that's possible. I don't think
I
they
mean,
run the ball that much.
but it also says they have 3,382 passing yards. So I mean that's a plausible number right there. They really could have that little on the ground.
That seems like way too little, though.
Funny thing, both teams have actually given up exactly 1,001. Oh, never mind. That's 1,011. Disregard what I just said. I'm misreading the spreadsheet.
That's still pretty
But
close.
if that number is accurate, and it it would be the lowest in the nation except for Georgia State.
Okay, so
Poor
that
Georgia
is,
State. Poor
yeah.
Georgia State.
I feel like they should be
But
running a balanced attack and not
they
just giving the ball to Bill Garcia all the time. Georgia State.
but they've actually scored nearly as many points at 260 as they have rushing yards at 290. So that just goes to
Yeah.
show not a balanced attack from either team really. Um, so it just comes down to
And
who's
Spiral
more
just said
prepared to stop the
Iowa
defense.
passes insane amounts. Guy gets like 6 carries a game. So yeah, that might actually be accurate.
Okay, so they're like an even more extreme version of Baylor or early season Texas.
Yeah. I still don't understand what the logic was behind that. Was he trying to get Sterling to? I don't understand.
I mean, I feel like he had a lot of confidence in John Jones, and I mean, a quarterback is going to be your biggest playmaker most of the time. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes though you just have to recognize when you have the special talents at running back and just ride them
Yeah.
all day. I'm honestly not like I chose to go with a more run-oriented scheme, despite having a 4.5 out of 5 quarterback,
Yeah.
just
Same here.
because he was a scrambler and I had a 5 out of 5
Actually.
running back. I don't know what
Yeah.
I would have done if I had a pocket quarterback. I might have gone more balanced.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing with me was I was looking at it, and I didn't really expect Marcus Berry to do that much. And then right after week one, I saw Berry had like 100 whatever. Like he's been like the top rusher in the NCAA or around it all year long. I think he might lead in rushing touchdowns. I could be wrong on that. He's pretty damn close if he is, if I'm correct. But yeah, so I was just like, you know what, I might need to start running the ball more. So I just kind of moved it over to more run heavy some weeks, depending on if I was going up against good defense, or I'd just say balanced. And that's worked out really well because then you still have Kotar running the ball, and he's run for 100 yards several games, which is good for my team, and it's really fun to see in the stat line.
Shivers on that one.
What's the next thing we're at? Baylor, Texas.
Baylor, Texas. Oh yes. Now Texas is favored in this game, and most people are picking
Yeah.
Texas to cover a decently sized 8.5 point spread. Um,
Uh,
I'm picking Texas to win, but Baylor to keep it close. Now,
yeah, that sounds.
the one reservation I have in this game is that it's not Texas's defense that's been the problem for them. Their defense has been solid all year, and that's going to give Joshua Andrews a lot of trouble. He hasn't had the best past couple of games,
Yeah.
but um, but on the other hand, I mean, he's still the best quarterback in the conference, and
Hmm.
I mean, as long as they can do anything to slow Sterling Brown down, and that's an if, um,
Yeah.
then then I think they'll keep it close. And Baylor's engineered a few last-minute drives. They beat Indiana at the last second on a touchdown pass. They got a last-second field goal against Oklahoma State. They
Yeah.
came back from 3 touchdowns down to beat Kansas in triple overtime. They if they can keep it close, I like Baylor's odds.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's either going to be I think there's a decently sized chance of Texas blowing them out, but I like Baylor to keep it close anyway.
Yeah. Now I think there might be a thing here where you like to overrate teams you got beat by, because I kind of do that, I think, and I
I
think other
really
people do
do. Like,
that.
actually, wait, no, I overrate teams I play regardless of whether I beat them or not. Like,
Yeah.
I think, I've picked Oregon and Arizona, perhaps, for example. I'm not sure if those are like rational picks either,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm a bit more familiar with them, so
So I
I'm
think I
biased.
think Iowa and Michigan State are better than they may be just because they played me close, and then I definitely think Bama. I thought Bama was underrated for a while when they were ranked like number one before they lost because they beat me, and how dare they? But
They
yeah, I
did good
think
service. Roll Tide.
ah no, I can't stand those words. I've had a
Roll
Bama
Tide.
ever since the Texas national championship game just because Colt McCoy got injured. I've always liked Colt. I used to have a poster of Colt McCoy. I don't think it's behind of me anymore.
No.
Nope.
So
Rest in
who
peace, Colt
so
McCoy poster.
so who do you got in the Joshua Andrews Sterling Brown show?
The Jada Andrews game. I could never pick anyone jokingly named Jada. Anything to deal with Jada. Uh,
Is Andrews jokingly named Jada? I've never heard that one.
yeah. Nope. Tabor, I believe, changed his signature to saying Joshua Jada Andrews.
Hmm. Well, I hadn't heard that one
Uh,
before.
yep.
So you're picking Texas then?
I'm gonna pick Texas, but I actually do think Texas will win this game anyway.
Mhm.
I
All
just
right.
feel like Baylor's defense isn't good enough to stop Texas, and Texas's defense is good enough to shut down Baylor a bit. I do still have that slight feeling that Josh Andrews will still pass all over them, and it'll wind up being a win for Baylor. But I'm gonna pick Texas. I believe they
All
win by
right.
10.
Okay then. And we'll cover the spread
And
then.
then USC at UCLA, the final game we're picking here. We probably should have picked the Michigan at Ohio State game last, since that's where I said game day was, I believe. But who gives a shit? Doesn't really matter. Uh, I I've doubted USC for the longest time now, just because they keep playing every game close. I feel like they're gonna slip up.
Are
But
you thinking the same thing?
UCLA doesn't seem. I don't know if they had the firepower to do it. But since Dream's in the same room with me and just has been playing 2K and annoying me this entire time, I'm gonna pick UCLA, partly to piss him off, partly because I believe it could happen. And yeah, that's my analysis there.
All right.
Go E Weebs.
Well, in that case, I'm thinking a little bit differently from you.
All
I'm
right.
picking
Isn't that gonna
UCLA
go
not because it
Eagles?
could happen, but because I think it will happen.
All
Because
right.
I think USC has been struggling for a while against less talented
Yeah.
teams than UCLA, and
Uh,
despite their pedestrian record, I think UCLA is actually a really talented team.
yeah, I
I'm just like there. I've seen so many examples recently of talented but underachieving teams either coming close to or outright upsetting much better coached teams. Like West Virginia over Oklahoma, for example. West Virginia has all the
Yeah.
talent in the world. They've done nothing with it except beat
Mhm.
Oklahoma. They
Exactly.
they also nearly beat me. They took me to overtime. Um,
Uh-huh.
so again, could be me overrating teams I've played. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, I mean, I think I, one thing I'm noticing is that UCLA has more than they have pass yards. Defense. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not particularly good. They've given up over 1,000 yards on the ground, more than a third of opponents' total yardage output. I think that
Yeah.
could be a matchup problem as well.
Who's UCLA's
And
running back? Quincy Turner?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I like Quincy Turner for UCLA. Thing is, and I feel like USC may have been relying on Nate warming his rank for a while now, because I believe he has one of the higher passer ratings.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe USC's been relying on that, and now it's just not necessarily being that good anymore, and he's just kind of playing average, which is what he should be playing like. And I don't know if Rambo's good enough yet to lead USC. USC's offense has some issues, and I think UCLA's offense is better with Quincy Turner being a better weapon. I think UCLA's quarterback might be better too, and
They're not.
he's not.
Nope.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, um, but I feel like UCLA pulls this one out somehow.
yeah, I think so too. And I think they do it on the ground.
Yep, I think it's gonna be a good ground game. We're gonna see. Uh,
I'm gonna say UCLA 17, USC 14 is
yeah,
my
so I was
prediction
thinking too.
for.
I'll make the same prediction. We're just gonna be completely in sync on this game.
Like
So,
like we bet on all the
Both
others
those
so
think either
far.
lose.
yeah, totally.
Okay.
So now I guess we're just waiting for the uh, afternoon. Okay, no, okay. Sophos just said, Saluna, if you enter triplet Kotar and Barry, I will love you forever. You can't bribe him like that. That's not cool.
I mean, he can. It just doesn't mean it won't
Maybe
be
so this is
successful.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, Danger did
Billy
something
might
to
decide.
gain Saluda's favor, given that
Oh yeah.
he hurt Brown and Andrews in back-to-back weeks. Also, he took out Ty Miller, which I'm sure has not been the best for Oklahoma's offense. And I'm alone again. Okay, so yeah, I lost my train of thought, didn't I? All right then. So I guess I'll wait for Dean to come back. Okay, I think he's back now. Yeah, I could not host one of these solo. Just would not work. So Dean
Okay.
said in the chat box, "Stupid internet." Sofa said, "Your face is stupid." I would also add that the in front of in front of Ohio State University is also stupid. Oh, hey, Dean, you're
Okay.
back.
Well, yeah. Hey, I'm back.
Oh, did you hear that part?
Yeah, I did hear that part where you said
That's
you.
that was totally
Oh,
yeah, that was totally
not sure if they get the
intentional.
shine off. Oh, they're constantly
But anyways, I. Oh my God, I'm very concerned someone's gonna get injured and hurt for Ohio State. I have a great fear of this
Are
happening.
you there?
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm still here. Unless you're talking to somebody on the phone. Can you hear me? Test. Test. One, two. I don't know what's happening right now.
weird.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
Okay. Anyways, I don't know if you could hear me, but I said I have a great fear of someone getting injured for Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, every coach should be afraid of that because you never know when it's going to happen. You never know
But
who it's
see,
going to happen to, and then when it happens, you don't really. There's nothing you can really do about it for that game
like
anyway.
anytime it's talked about massively, it seems to happen, I feel like. Anytime the pipe just keeps being.
Now the pipe has been well. There's the possibility that it's already been satiated for this week.
Yeah, because
Um,
it took out Brian Brown, which seems like I feel
took him
like
out.
it can't
Took him
take
out
out.
for the season. Like what does the pipe have against Brian Brown? He just it's attacked him twice now.
Yeah, I know. I feel like you can't take out like two of the best quarterbacks in the same week. That would just be that just can't happen, right?
I mean, it could. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean,
gambler's fallacy and all.
maybe it takes out. Uh, okay, he's saying we should talk about the NFL. Now
Ooh.
that is for my NFL HC podcast, I believe. But I guess we could do that. I was planning on doing that later. Uh, hmm. I don't know. Do you want to delve into that?
I did not hear a word you just said.
All right. So Luna said we should talk about the NFL.
I
Uh,
I still can't hear you. You're just the connection is still very
Man, this is
spotty.
weird. Okay.
Okay, now I hear you.
Can you
So
hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So Luna said we should talk about the NFL. However, I was planning on doing that on the NFL HC podcast, which was supposed to happen later. But we could delve
Right.
into that now.
We could. I don't know that much about the NFL landscape, but I can do my best.
Uh,
Like I just know the Browns are browsing.
nah, you're not browsing by the definition of the site, which would always piss me off. That's why I'm not in charge of the Browns anymore, and that's why I was kind of considering leaving Ohio State last night in the shout box, because when your team constantly gets shit on and it's actually your team, it hurts a bit. I don't know if it's because I'm in
It hurts.
charge, but if someone talks shit about the Bills, I don't care. You can talk shit about the Bills, but if you go like the Bills are browsing because I'm there, I'm like that's just come on, don't do that to me, man.
Actually, I kind of wonder. I suppose guardianship over that term is sort of like the term Clemsoning. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, people use Clemsoning for anything now. Although
yeah.
the greatest example of Clemsoning, though, would have to be 2004, when I forgot who it was they beat the previous week. Then they
Hmm.
went to Wallace Wade Stadium and lost to Duke, and we didn't
uh,
win another conference game for 3 whole years.
oh yeah. Steve, Duke's football team's been so bad, and I just whenever they had Cutcliffe come in, it's actually good. It's actually fairly decent now. I love seeing that.
Yeah,
I hate Duke as a basketball team, but anytime a good basketball team, there's usually shit doesn't do well in football. I like watching it happen. Same thing happened with Kansas back in like 2009, 2008, or whatever that was, and then they came into
and
Missouri, and it's like the winner was going to play for the national championship, I believe.
don't
So I think
remind
they
me of
were
that game.
undefeated. But
No, I think it was for a berth in the conference championship game,
oh, was it the
which
conference
Missouri
championship?
subsequently lost.
Oh
So
yeah,
sucks to be them.
yeah.
Big 12 traders.
Missouri. Yeah. But yeah, it was just I like watching basketball teams do well, and it's the same thing. I guess I like watching football teams do well in basketball. Uh, I used to be a UCLA fan for college basketball because my dad's from California, so I kind of have always liked UCLA, which is weird because I wanted to go to USC, which is kind of a random off-topic thing, but I don't care anymore. Uh, but yeah, so I feel, but I don't really care for UCLA anymore. Uh, but yeah, I like watching teams who aren't supposed to be good in their sports do well there.
Yeah, we all love good underdog story.
Yeah, except some people don't. I don't understand like the soccer thing where you either cheer for like Messi or Ronaldo. I don't understand that. I like watching shitty guys play soccer. Like I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch Messi dominate. I want to watch someone stop Messi and
I
it
mean,
be unbelievable.
there is something to watching the best players do what they do best. I mean,
Yeah,
that in itself is pretty exciting. Like, I mean, that's why uh, I mean, that's what we do in football all the time. It seems like it seems like teams like who was it like I don't know, teams like UCF can draw a lot of hate just because they're so it's almost like they're intruding on everybody else's space, like as if
yeah, the
they're picking out
tradition.
someone who didn't belong instead of you know they did win their conference uh, for whatever that actually found. Um, but at the same
Hmm.
time, there might have been a better team pushed out, but I mean they're good underdog story and they actually earned it.
Yeah,
And I feel like
yeah. I
that's
think
the
UCF was. Oh, continue.
I was gonna say it seems like that's less true in basketball where the early round upset is glorified and the dream
Mhm.
of a 16 over one
Lehigh.
still hasn't happened yet. But
Yeah,
in football, in basketball, if the best two teams don't make the title game, then nobody bats an eye. But in
yeah,
football, if the best two teams don't make the title game, it's a travesty.
exactly. Because then you
But
have the thing where it's like Florida Gulf Coast, and you watch them make it to the Sweet 16, and it's amazing. And then Florida wins, and everyone's like, "Fuck you, Florida! Who are you
but
to beat Florida Gulf Coast and
yeah,
ruin the fun?"
but
Or
at the
like
same time,
whenever,
the early round darlings never make it that far anyway. Like it's usually two very good teams in the title game anyway. Like even Kentucky and UConn this year weren't
yeah,
necessarily the best two, but they were still two pretty good teams.
usually the team that beats Duke in the first round or second round doesn't make it
Oh
past the
hush,
next round.
we
That
made we
seems to
made it
keep happening.
we made
Seems
an
to keep
elite
happening
eight in
though.
between. Like we made an elite eight in between
Yeah, I
those
know.
two, and we
But
won the
yeah,
title in 2010.
yeah. And then you have Ohio State who loses to Dayton in the first round, the closing seconds because Aaron Craft sucks. Uh, I
I still remember
didn't even
when
watch.
Quinn Cook and Tyler Thornton held Aaron Craft to 3 of 15 shooting in Cameron Indoor Stadium, and
Well,
Duke
see, Aaron
won.
Craft can't shoot anyway, so he shouldn't have
And
been
he shot
shooting.
15 times.
God,
But
yeah, but the thing is, like, I didn't even watch the Ohio State Dayton game because it was during school, so it's just like this kid had the score on the computer on my teacher's computer, and then I just keep going over there because it was a foods class. So like I just walk over there and look at the score, and then he was like Ohio State lost, and I'm like shit, you've got to be kidding me. I was depressed for the rest of the day.
Dayton also provided one of my favorite upsets. It was in the 2010 NIT when they beat Carolina in the final.
Yeah,
Doubly hilarious because Carolina was in the NIT and they couldn't even win it. And triply hilarious because that was the same year we won the title. So best year ever.
oh. Yeah, and then there was what was it? Robert Morris beat Kentucky in the NIT,
Hmm. I
and
remember
then
that too.
that was just the year before, and then Kentucky winds up in the national championship game the next year afterward.
Yep. Because of
Kentucky's
course
weird.
they.
Yeah,
But anyway, so
I feel like he's got to be doing something illegal there. Like he's got to be paying recruits,
I mean, I don't know about that. Like he's just a good recruiter, and
but he's not that.
it's like the Miami Heat. Like, I mean, players have been taking discounts to join the Miami Heat for years
Yeah,
now.
But
just
see,
because they can play
like
with LeBron, and it's like with Kentucky, if you could play for a team with a lot of talent, and you're still going to get your time to shine, and you've got a good chance of making a deep run, if you're a top
yeah,
recruit, why not? And John Calipari, he's made himself an image as a player's coach. Like
yeah,
I'm not a fan of the program. I don't know that much about it, but like if recruits are buying into
yeah,
that, he doesn't need to pay them.
yeah. Now, see, another thing I want to talk about is the Miami Heat because it seems to me like every time I see another news update, it seems more and more like the Miami Heat are collapsing. Have you been seeing
I,
that as well? Or
put it this way, it doesn't look the best for the Heat, but I'll believe it when I see it.
because basically I go
Like,
on
like if,
RNBA and every single tweet I see is like negative towards the Heat now.
well, yeah,
It
but
keeps getting more
the thing is,
worse and worse.
do you think our NBA isn't also rooting for chaos? Like, don't you think
Well,
they
yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
want this to happen as well?
I
Like,
think
that's
everyone wants it to happen.
well, except Heat fans.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I don't know.
But
Put it this way, around the same time in free agency last year, or not last year, but last decision, like it was just as confusing as it is this time around. Like we didn't know
yeah,
what was going to happen then either. I think and like every news story, like
yeah.
none of these are really all that objective. Every quote,
Mhm.
every story, every bit of speculation. These are all rumors leaked from someone either in the
Yeah.
organization, in the players' camp, in a
Mhm.
rival camp, trying to create some sort of narrative. And I don't think
Yeah.
it's really a good idea to take them at face value.
Yeah. And see, because I mean, I have hope because there's sort of that sense amongst a lot of people that LeBron may be returning to Cleveland. So obviously, I'm hoping for it to happen. And now there's rumors that like Chris Bosh is fielding to see if he can get a max contract, and he's been told that he can. And now Houston is apparently courting Chris Bosh. And it looks like Melo's staying in New York, but it's looking more and
I
more
really
likely
hope
that
not.
LeBron won't be staying in Miami. Now,
Yeah, but again,
I,
I'll believe all of that when I see it.
yeah, see, I mean, I don't know if it will happen. I sure as hell hope it happens because I really hate the Heat. And I don't know if it's probably because of that thing, but I've never liked the Heat in the first place. I feel like Dwayne Wade might be the lone man in Miami, and it might be interesting to see what happens there. And you might see Bosh and LeBron separate. Uh, and then what? See, I want to see what happens to the Heat if it does collapse because they don't really seem to have a good backup plan. Like, what do you do in that scenario?
They have a lot of cap space, so
Exactly, but
they
you're
can
going
make
to
a run at
sign.
players. But what are they going to sell to them? They're not
Yeah,
going to win a championship.
yeah. Unless you get like a ragtag bunch of the middle guys,
They'll get from
and then you wind up with like a very meh looking thing. Like maybe they wind up getting like Trevor Ariza or something if LeBron moves on quick enough, and those guys don't sign elsewhere. Maybe Luol Deng. Someone commented in RNBA, what happens if like Lance Stevenson and Luol Deng wind up in Heat uniforms next year?
Ooh, yeah, I don't. I put it this way, they wouldn't win anything, but I don't want to
Yeah,
see it anyway because I don't want
yeah,
Luol Deng. I don't want Luol Deng to be degraded to playing with guys like Dwayne Wade and Lance Stevenson, two of the guys in the
yeah,
NBA that I hate more than anybody else in the league.
yeah. Now, see, I
Like,
actually I understand the hate for Lance Stevenson, but he's one of my favorite players just because of his antics. I
he's a
understand why
punk.
people hate that, but see, that makes it he just doesn't care. That makes it funny to me. I like watching Lance Stevenson play basketball because he
And
doesn't seem. But I will say my favorite player in the NBA isn't even in the NBA yet because Joel Embiid, just the
oh,
stuff he does. Did you see the video of him in the car?
I did, but I mean, I saw all his tweets about recruiting LeBron. Those
Oh
were
my god!
funny too.
And then
So
there's
I'm already liking Embiid.
after he was drafted, he's in a car, and I'm not going to say what he said because, well, it sounds weird if I say it. But anyways, but he was drunk in the car, and then like some guy was asking him who has the biggest dick in the car, and he goes, "It's me because I'm the," and then he said, "Yeah," and he said, "You know what word I'm referring to. I don't
No, I
say it because
don't.
I'm white. You catch my
I'm just
you
giving you a
catch my.
hard time.
I always feel white guilt, so I don't do stuff, but I mean, like whenever I listen to rap music, I skip the N word when I say the
Yeah,
whenever I
that's
poorly
probably
rap
yeah,
along.
that's
I
probably a good
understand it
idea.
probably could. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean anything in a sense.
But
At the same time, it's a word with a huge negative connotation, so I have an issue with it there. And then you get in like this whole debate over what the word really means to people these days, and then it's all over the place. But
and it certainly means, and in my opinion, it means something different coming from a white person than it does
yeah,
from a black
exactly.
person. Like,
Like you can't have
but that's
Macklemore rapping the N word. It's just weird.
yeah. And I could go on more than I should about Macklemore. So let's not open up that can of
Oh,
words.
you're not a fan of Macklemore?
Not really.
See, I like Macklemore at the same time,
I
and
just
I
said
also
I didn't.
listen.
Didn't I just say let's not open up that can of worms?
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. I didn't realize Macklemore was such a sensitive topic.
Let's get back to the N word.
Let's get back to the N-word discussion. Uh, but anyway, so I was talking about game day just got PC. Fuck that. Said so fast. Anyways, uh, but I feel deep down LeBron's returning to Cleveland. There's just something. First of all, I feel like it says something. Maybe it's just because he's from Ohio, and then there's the other thing that all these teams are going to meet him in Cleveland. That says a little something. I mean, maybe it's because his
that is
agent's based
interesting.
out of there.
But
But
I do think that's significant though.
yeah,
Like
and then you have his agent has been in contact with Dan Gilbert this whole time. Apparently, I believe someone reported. Uh, the fence has been mended, whatever that means, between LeBron and Dan Gilbert. I feel like there's just a lot of signs pointing to something good happening in Cleveland again. We
yeah.
got
On the other
Manziel. It looks like we
hand,
might get Braun too. We got Wiggins, and I think if you go to Cleveland, it's a good environment for LeBron because you have youth and along with talent, and that's a good
hmm
thing for LeBron. If he wants to win championships in the future and keep winning, I think Cleveland's the best option out or one of the best options out there available to
and
him.
yeah, I mean, I'd just add a couple of things. First of all, I mean, if LeBron starts meeting with teams, then it's going to be really
Yeah.
serious. Like like his agent meeting with teams is significant,
I
but
think
like
I think I
it's
read something that it was going to be someone was meeting with LeBron and his agent on
yeah,
like Saturday or Sunday or maybe.
yeah,
Or that's what the tweet was doing with them then. I'm not
yeah.
100% on
I
that
hadn't
though.
heard about it yet. But the other
Uh,
thing, you're still Cleveland. You're going to figure out
yeah.
some way to mess it up.
Well, the thing is, we don't really mess that much stuff up. It's just kind of overblown.
You've messed stuff up for how long has it been since you won the World Series, and that's the City's last championship in any sport, right?
I want to say that was
1948, I want to say.
96. No, I think we won
No,
in 90. I want to
no.
say I want to say the
Yankees
Indians
won
won
in
in like
'96.
or
Marlins
95.
won in
Hold on, let me see.
'97. Yankees won in '98 to 2000. The Indians haven't won since. I'm
The
fairly sure
Indians
it was
were
1948.
competing for a while. Hold on.
Competing doesn't mean winning. The Braves competed
Cause he,
the
hold
Braves
on.
competed for
We
a
had
decade
like
and a half.
Jim Tomey, Manny Ramirez, and a bunch of other guys on the team at the same time. Uh,
You didn't win any World Series though.
we played in
2007, you were up 3
1997.
games to 1 on the Red Sox. Blew the series. Red Sox ended up winning the World Series. I think they swept the Rockies in the World Series. But I'm fairly sure no
Uh,
Cleveland teams won a title since 1948.
we lost to the Florida Marlins 4-3 in the World Series in 1997.
Marlins have never lost the playoff series, by the way. Made the playoffs in '97 and '03. Won the World Series both times. Fun fact. It's like they're just about as automatic as UConn in the Final Four.
Hold on here. But yeah, I don't think World Series 99 or 97 and 95. Yeah, we lost both times. Okay, damn it. Last World Series win was in 1948.
Yep.
But actually, the Cleveland Browns did win NFL championships. They did not win the Super Bowl. I believe
Doesn't
they
count.
won the last championship before the Super Bowl was created. I want to say it's factual. We're like the
Doesn't
NFL
count.
championships. We're still see that's the thing. It sucks because it doesn't even matter that we won.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
but
it
yeah,
sucks because it's
1948.
Cleveland.
Ah, please talk football or I'm boycotting. Okay. Sorry. Oh, okay.
And
We were talking about baseball. Oops. Sorry.
yeah,
Cleveland Browns,
we're talking
Cleveland
about one
Browns,
sports that hates more than all of them.
Anyways, but yeah, talk World Cup. Yeah, we can talk footy ball. He said, "All right, not watching anymore." We're up to 7 viewers. That's something. All right, so now Sophos is rating about Aaron Kotar's ACL. I think it would be kind of humorous if it winds up that Tommy Jones yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, the Michigan quarterback, winds up getting his ACL injured and winds up
You and
going
I
out for
have
the season.
radically different definitions of funny.
It would be okay. It would look ironic, maybe. It
Yes, ironic, yes.
would be ironic if Tommy Jones got injured. I just think it would be. I just think with all the shit Sophos is talking, it would be a little humorous if it wound up happening that his guys got injured and my guys stay healthy.
It just got
It would also
super.
it would only be humorous if he broke his arm.
Yeah, I think you and Dream are on the same little joke there.
Oh,
So
I
he said
didn't
something
hear him.
similar. Yeah, he said it would only be humorous if he broke his humerus. I think is what he said.
Oh, okay. So he just went for the no subtlety approach.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I like to have a
He
little
doesn't
bit
go
of
for subtlety
subtlety.
at all. I always pronounce
Mhm.
subtlety subtly or subtlety. I always throw the b in there.
No,
I say subtle
the
instead
trick
of
is that
subtle.
the trick is that the B is subtle.
Yeah, the B is
Yeah,
subtle stuff.
the b in subtle is subtle. Because I was talking to this guy and I said it was like the last day of school, so now all he remembers me as is the guy who said subtle in
Mhm.
the AP English Lit class. Now I'm just a jackass
Yep.
who doesn't know how to pronounce subtle. He was like, "Did you just say subtle?" And I was like, "No, no, no." I was just. He was like, "You're kidding, right?" Yeah, I was kidding. It was a joke. One of my jokes I tell.
And in the future, Dean would never pronounce the B in any word ever again out of fear.
Hi, my name's Jonathan Aites. Uh, I don't. I've said my name so many times in these podcasts. It's gotten a little out of hand. I think I just
Yeah.
do not give shits at all. I think Discreto keeps linking the podcast.
Does he just have it? Does he just have it on his clipboard and he just rapid fire control B?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I do.
Oh shit.
That's also what I do whenever we start, like, whenever people start like doing chants. What I'll do is I'll copy it and I'll like hit it like 5 times, like Control V 5 times, and I'll copy that and I'll do the same thing again, so it gets super large. I don't have to type anything. It's smart,
Hmm. So,
because
for
like
example, if I were to say go blue, you just hit
I
control
would
V.
not. Nope, I would not Control V.
Go blue.
I like changing it to things that piss other people off. Like whenever there's go, I put heels yesterday. I like getting in there before everybody else. It's fun. So then it just says go heels blue.
Mhm. Yeah, go to hell, Carolina, go to hell.
Yeah, I knew.
Just-
There's this
Duke
guy
was
on my
up. Duke was up 3 touchdowns on Carolina yesterday. 3 touchdowns and blew
and,
it. Like,
and your brother's the coach at Duke.
yeah, he is. Yeah,
Okay.
not the one who was in here earlier, but actually, I'm not 100% sure if he had a chance to um, if he had a chance to set a game plan. He's been out of the house for a little while, but
Oh,
um, he might have said it beforehand though, and I'm not really sure that his game plan would have changed that much.
yeah.
Like,
Okay. Sorry. I'm trying. I said whenever Saluna
um,
posts something in the shout box, I see if it's about us. It wasn't. It was about schedules.
yeah.
It doesn't apply to us at all, really. We were at 7 viewers. Oh no, we're back at 7 viewers. Never mind. I was gonna complain. Uh, I'm trying to think of some other stuff we can
What
talk
did
about here.
We talk about the one we can talk about.
did
All
Rome
right.
like did Rome post the out of conference games at all, or is he just
No,
saying what they've
I
done?
think he's just saying it.
Because he said
Um,
raise your conference games, and
you know
so
what? Here's what I think we should discuss. I think we should try to do. Let's discuss the NFL draft. You want to do that? The fake NFL draft,
okay,
the NFL EC draft.
I'll
All
I'll
right.
I'll try.
All right. So we won't get any of the Browns' opinions, obviously. Uh, Now my mock draft was criticized, so I'm just gonna do a live mock draft right now, where I
Uh-oh.
say what I really think happens. Just because I think that'll be better. So let me get up. I gotta get my spreadsheet up really quick here first, actually.
Oh, okay.
So let's just stall by singing a song here. Uh,
I know a
Hey,
song that
I
gets
just
on
met
everybody's
you.
nerves. Everybody's nerves.
Oh,
Everybody's nerves.
just a completely different song than I was. I thought we were gonna do
What?
"Call Me Maybe." All right, that's cool.
No, no, I'm not having you call me.
Hey, I just met you.
No,
It's crazy. All right, so
no.
anyway, as I pull up the spreadsheet here, I can just say the first pick to the Baltimore Ravens will likely wind up being okay. I'm gonna do two scenarios. So how about this? I'll let you do the Brian Brown scenario, and I'll do
I
the event in which they take Tyrone Jones. Okay, let's do that. All right. So
let's. I don't even know what teams actually need right now. Like, hang on, what did Jumbo say? Jumbo is he?
He hates seasons in the Eastern
Oh no,
Conference.
he. Okay, Jumbo said raise your week 13 Saturday afternoon, but I don't see it. So
oh, maybe he was just getting excited.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
maybe he thought he.
thanks a lot, Jumbo, for getting me excited for nothing. Now I'm changing my pick from Pittsburgh to Penn State. So there.
Woo! We are Penn State. Jumbo has the same phone case as me as well, so that's interesting.
But yeah,
It's a cool fun fact. So I think it's a popular one though, so whatever.
what kind of phone case is it?
It's a OtterBox for an iPhone.
Oh,
So, because I'm white.
see, iPhones, they're a decent enough phone. They're all right.
Yeah, see, I mean, I could have gotten a Galaxy S5 probably, but I was
Should have.
like, yeah, I probably should have. But everybody else I know has iPhones.
Oh,
Like
so
all
you're a
my,
conformist.
yeah, I was conformist, and I was just like, you know what? I want an iPhone.
Anyway,
I want to feel like a rich white kid for once. I've never got that feeling because I'm a poor white kid with Toledo hat. Rock Valley.
let's go ahead and get on those mock drafts.
Would
All
you
right,
wear
so the first pick
my
to the
hat, my
Baltimore
shirt?
Ravens goes to, all right, who you got? Who do you got going to the Baltimore Ravens, number one overall?
Who do I got?
Yeah, who you got?
Brian Brown.
Brian Brown, quarterback out of Boise State University. I really like this kid. He's a real. No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to try to do a John Gruden impersonation. Now here, I'm just going to do this to play devil's advocate, and I did this beforehand. Picking Tyrone Jones. I think this kid is really good. He's really talented. I think you're not making a huge mistake if you take Tyrone Jones here. And I just have that slight feeling that's what Baltimore's doing. Now, if he's not picked number one overall, which I don't, I feel like if you're an expansion team, you pick Brian Brown number one, but I don't know what B2 Bomber's doing. I don't have an inkling. I wish he would have released his pick so I could do a better mock draft because with that I
But
would know exactly what's going to happen, basically,
yeah,
or I'd have a better clue what would
it does make
happen.
sense for him to keep his cards close to his chest, though. I
I
mean,
don't really understand.
only
I don't
some
really understand.
sense, but like,
Yeah.
there's no point to releasing it early, other
Yes.
than for
So
everyone else.
all you're doing is making Detroit wait longer.
And also for, perhaps causing Detroit to overthink its pick and maybe go after Keyshawn when they shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think they are going after Keyshawn. The only event where I think they do, I feel deep down they are picking Tyrone Jones.
Oh,
And it's not even a discussion really. But I feel like there's the issue where you have if Ryan Brown isn't taking number one and Tyrone Jones is, quarterback's not as big of a need necessarily as cornerback is, and I think the Lions might try to take Keyshawn number two or trade back, but it's harder to make trades on draft day than it is beforehand.
Yeah.
Now I will say this, I don't know if I've said this on a podcast, but I feel like I have discussed this in the past with other people. I wish the Bills still had this second overall pick. I don't necessarily like that we traded it away to Detroit. There's been criticism in the past over the trade, saying that we didn't get enough in return. I feel like what we got in return was fine. I just rather have the option in case Brian Brown does fall to number two. I'll pick Jones for the Baltimore Ravens here just for fun. Detroit Lions second overall pick. You can go ahead and pick Tyrone Jones there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only other pick.
Okay, and then
Um,
I'm picking Keyshawn here as I just discussed in length. I don't think taking Keyshawn's necessarily a mistake. He's an 83, which is huge. I think you gotta like him really. Keyshawn's a dominant corner. It would not be a mistake to take Keyshawn Thompson second overall if you're the Lions because Vamos Ramos isn't a great quarterback, but I think getting an upgrade at cornerback, and a dominant corner would be more helpful, maybe. Because this is a very quarterback heavy draft, so even if you do pass on Brian Brown, you're not making that huge a mistake. There's like 8 quarterbacks who are above or an 80 or above, I believe. So there's a
Yes,
lot of depth here, and it's very easy to improve at the position.
yeah, it's just that if someone else wants Brian Brown at number two, I mean, you can just
Yeah,
get
you can trade up.
more. You can fleece them for picks and
But then
get
there's the
get.
chance, unless see, the only way I do that is if you switch with Oakland, and then you say I'll trade back. And now the way you might have to do that is you might actually have to draft Brian Brown and maybe be like, I'll trade back if you give me Keyshawn and along with another pick, or else I'll just keep Brian Brown and have a fucking awesome offense, and you can sit there with Mike Hill at quarterback.
Yeah, that can also work out. Also, if you can't negotiate a trade in time, then yeah, you can always just pick Brian Brown and just after the draft to make the trade for say some team's first and second round picks or whatever haul you want to get.
Yeah. But anyways, so for the third pick overall, I do have the Oakland Raiders taking Brian Brown. Now, I originally, in my mock draft, I said that I didn't think Oakland should necessarily draft Brian Brown. They have Mike Hill. I think he might improve or he might progress. And I don't necessarily know if you should trade or just draft Brian Brown here if you're Oakland. I had them drafting Joe Farmar. But Alien UFO said if Brian Brown fell to him, he would draft him. So Oakland does take Brian Brown at number 3. Brian Brown's not falling past 3. They've made that known. So, what's your pick here? Third overall.
Um, my pick is I have no idea who's actually going to be the number three pick. I mean, like I said, I don't know the NFL landscape that well, so I'm not. I'm only vaguely aware of who's even eligible. I've only really searched what players I have
Okay,
who are
Oakland's
eligible.
weaknesses are, according to Taco, wide receiver, center, right guard, defensive line, outside linebacker, and cornerback.
So a lot of places.
Yeah, but
Um,
you don't draft triplet here. Maybe you could draft the Minnesota setter Dickerson, whatever his name is. I think I had him falling to Minnesota in my draft, which is a bit of a reach there. He should probably be drafted higher than that. You do have a good guard in Joe Farmar, uh, but when I had him going to Oakland, Alien UFO was like, I already have a good right guard. I'm not drafting another one, or I already have a good guard. I'm not drafting another one early on. Shot that down. And then you have cornerback, which is a need. Oakland's in a good position here. Because even if someone does, like if the Lions do wind up reaching on Keyshawn and Tyron Jones falls to them, that's a need. If he doesn't, they can draft Keyshawn. I think Oakland's in a good position here.
yeah, they are. I mean, anytime you're behind a team that's not really sure what it wants to do, then you're in position to reap the benefits from that.
Yeah,
And I mean, if they really want whoever Detroit drafts, they can always trade up one spot.
yeah. And apparently now I'd just like to announce this. Sophos did not realize he was a part of the big Pac-12 challenge, it appears. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know if he's frustrated over that or if he's just saying, hey man,
They
maybe this
got
shouldn't be
some.
happening. And now I just
Yes.
found it a
So,
little
so
interesting.
who's in the the Big Ten Pac-12 challenge anyway?
Well, first of all, there is the game between me and Dream, the
Ooh,
Bates Bowl, which will be fun to watch. I hope it happens in the playoffs, though. I'm still hoping for that. I'll root for Kansas to get another
yeah. I mean,
slot
it
in
could
there
very well.
somewhere.
I mean, at that point, we'd be taking Boise's spot,
Yeah,
and we'd have to have FSU lose. But
yeah,
again, I've got UCLA over USC. Apologies to Dream. So if that happens, then that's curtains.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that would be an exciting matchup to see. Um, I mean,
Mhm.
we could talk about playoff scenarios,
Oh yeah,
but
we could do that, couldn't we?
yeah,
We're already. You know what? There's not really much. I can't really go that much further into this mock draft. I think the first three picks are maybe the most interesting, and teams after that know what they're doing, right? I don't know if people still want to hear us. Let's go back to the CFBHC. I'll leave the NFLHC for the NFLHC podcast,
yeah.
which will be.
I wish I could help out better with the NFL stuff. It's just
We should be
I've been
doing
trying.
that later tonight on ESPN 8 The Ocho's YouTube channel at some point, so you can tune in for that. It'll be sometime after the Ohio State Michigan results are posted because I'll be in panic mode until then. I think there'll be games for the afternoon will come up at some point, so maybe announce or we can discuss those whenever those happen. But anyway, so playoff scenarios. Let's go into those. I'll
All right,
let you talk.
all right. So the way I see it, there are. I mean, obviously, there's 4 spots for the playoff, and right now those spots are going to they're going to Boise, assuming Boise wins the conference championship game. The Big Ten champion, and that has to be either Ohio State or Wisconsin. Uh,
Hmm.
then undefeated USC, assuming
Who's gonna
they
win the
do beat
Pac-12
UCLA and win their conference championship game.
What
Who's gonna win the Pac-12 championship game?
likely was or Washington? Excuse me. Sorry. I didn't catch your
Washington will be in the Pac-12 championship game if they win. Oregon with a win and a Washington loss.
Yeah.
And then the fourth team will be the SEC champion,
Uh huh.
assuming. And this is all assuming that those teams have 1 loss or fewer. A second loss will
Yeah.
probably knock them out unless both Kansas and Michigan State lose a second game as well. Now, for the SEC, they could lose their bid in one of 2 ways. Either Georgia loses to Georgia Tech, and
Yeah.
and then wins
Not
the
gonna happen.
SEC, or if LSU wins the SEC, which is a legitimate possibility.
Yeah,
Um,
that's definitely possible.
like
Uh,
they better yet, if Georgia loses to Georgia Tech and then LSU manages to win their division, then SEC is already out of the bid at that point. Um,
yeah.
so then So then the Big Ten, they keep their bid, assuming that Ohio State and Wisconsin both win this week. Then their winner will be a
Hmm.
one-loss team and almost certainly
Yeah.
get in. I figure Wisconsin
Yeah.
probably jumps Florida State. Uh,
Yeah.
and if they don't, I consider that to be practically a crime. Like FSU lost
Yeah.
to Mississippi State. Like a team
Exactly.
like that doesn't necessarily deserve a second chance, especially having played an ACC schedule. Like their best win this season is on the road at Oklahoma, which is a good win, no doubt. It's just that Wisconsin's had plenty of good wins. FSU's had one.
Yeah. And you
Um,
have Oklahoma ranked number 18 now. They've been showing to be a little weak. They did lose to West Virginia at one point as well. Oklahoma, obviously, who I'm referring to.
yeah, I mean, I'd love to give Oklahoma more credit. I think they're a better team than their record indicates.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder at this point,
I
especially
feel
given
like
that.
Ted always underperforms because I feel like this happened last year too, where it seemed like Oklahoma was number one at one point, and then they wound up at like 9-3 or something like that, and then they lost to USC in their bowl, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that, so I don't really
Yeah,
know how it all went down.
yeah.
Um,
I did the history of CFBHC, so I know this stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I still haven't got. Oh God, I need to get back to doing that, don't I?
Like
Whatever.
what's there left to do anyway?
I don't even know. The day that Storm did Game Day, make that a chapter, because Ted
Okay, but
got complaining. uh, we can talk about how
yeah,
2 pieces of the podcast went horribly,
yeah, that
and
was
then
a dumpster fire. It was fun to
that
be
was a
on, but it
huge
was a
dumpster
dumpster
fire.
fire. Um,
Yeah, it got super weird after you left. Like, uh, Danger and Kate both went to the bathroom and were still on webcam. And then Danger's sister was like, "Why?" She was like, "Austin, why are you talking to people in the bathroom? You're so weird," or something. You can hear it from outside the door. Uh, good time. Good time.
Yeah,
Um, anyways, so back to the playoff predictions.
yeah. I mean, I think, I mean, I do think what the current scenario is, like, not necessarily the exact teams, but like that structure is going to hold up. I don't think Kansas is going to
Yeah, I
make the
think so
playoff,
too.
unfortunately. Um, I I think if anyone drops out, Florida State's first in line to pick up the pieces. They're already number 5 in the country. In theory, they could get in over the Big Ten or SEC champion, despite the fact that I
Yeah,
think it's a travesty if they did. Um, but
yeah,
after that, I think the only other two teams really in the conversation are Michigan State and Kansas. Um, with Can and I shouldn't say too much about it considering I have a vested interest. Um,
hmm
it would just be an interesting choice with Michigan State, who played in a stronger conference but didn't win their conference, versus Kansas,
yeah,
uh, who would only make the playoff if we win our conference. That's not a given. We still have two
yeah.
games left to win, but
But
could possibly win the conference.
In Michigan State's defense, they did have to play me,
How's
and
that
that's
in
their
their
one
defense?
loss. I mean, one of the best teams in the nation by far.
That's debatable. I'm kidding.
And
I'm
that's
messing
their
with you.
only loss. Yeah, I know. That's their only loss. And then again, your losses. I guess if you look at the losses, Michigan State's is better because Ohio
Yeah,
State's better than Baylor. But this
yeah.
was an
It
overtime loss. It was kind of maybe a fluke.
triple
Triple
overtime,
overtime.
triple
Triple overtime.
overtime, and on a 2 point conversion in triple overtime. It was
Yeah,
49-47.
yeah.
Like if
You
I
just you got screwed.
not really, we blew the lead. So yeah, I'm not mad or anything about it. It's just
Yeah, you
that's
wish it would
taking
have
me from the
ended differently.
playoffs. And
Yeah,
obviously, I got a pretty huge break the next week, coming back from 21-0 down against TCU.
oh yeah,
That would have been a crushing loss.
yeah,
Uh, so I'm fortunate to be in this position, but as it is, though, it is what it is. And I think
yeah.
you know I think I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a playoff with Boise, Ohio State, or Wisconsin. I'm gonna I'm gonna go with Georgia or Alabama for the SEC, because
Yeah,
the one other question: if Ole Miss wins the SEC, do they jump from number 10 to number 4?
that's a good question.
They'd have to jump over Michigan State and Kansas, and
Well,
I
first of
and
all,
like and Florida
they
State.
need they need Bama to lose,
Yes,
and then I feel like maybe if that does happen and they beat Georgia, I think you put them in.
yeah, and I mean I think
But I'm
the quality
skeptical.
win over Georgia would be it's an argument to vault them it's an argument to vault them to number 4. It's
Yeah,
just they'd have to jump a lot of teams, so it depends on how radically pollsters are willing to redo their ballots.
yeah. Does the Big 12 have a championship game, or is it just over?
Yes, we
Who
do.
would you? Oh
I'm
wait,
pl-
no, it's the
I'm
winner of
playing
the.
I'm playing Baylor. Revenge time. My
Oh,
only loss.
is that basically your conference championship game, or
No,
or
that
does the
is
winner
my.
of that?
We do have a conference championship game.
Okay, so and the winner of that game plays in the conference championship game.
Huh?
No,
No,
wait. Oh, yeah. I got you
I
now. I
play
got you now.
like Baylor.
I've
Baylor
gone insane.
plays
I've
good.
lost
And
my
like,
mind. I was thinking Baylor,
well,
Texas was
we
Baylor, Kansas this week. I've lost my
yeah.
mind. Don't worry about me.
Baylor Baylor Texas was supposed to be the Big 12 South championship game, and that this is kind of anticlimactic. Like there's
Yeah.
not much at stake in the Big 12 this week.
All right. So now
Uh,
Saluna's just sending two more games, then we'll have those results for the afternoon. So that's good.
mhm.
Um. Anyways, this is why it's disappearing after. Oh yeah. So I said no. Okay. Anyways, okay. So Slinky asked if he beats Nebraska, can he jump FSU? Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, see, that's an interesting thing because, okay, if you think Michigan State wins, they finish the year at 11-1. Their their only loss was to Ohio State in a close game. I think it wound up being, what, 38-31, something like that. So, very close game overall. You look at Michigan State's schedule; they beat teams a lot of people didn't think they were going to beat. We kind of figured Slinky would start hot and start to fade off toward the end of the year when he started playing good teams, and he still stayed strong.
Hmm.
Um, and then you look at the schedule of FSU, maybe not as impressive. Their loss was to Mississippi State, which is not nearly as good of a
That,
state school
that
as
is a
Ohio State or
that is
Michigan State, really.
it's a I mean that is a and it's a pretty bad loss
Yeah,
overall. Like Mississippi State hasn't like their wins haven't come against anybody good
yeah,
other than Florida State.
and then you have
So
Florida State's best win
by those arguments
is
is Oklahoma, right?
yeah. So I think if you're
What's
looking at that,
Michigan State's best win if it were against Nebraska? Nebraska is a better team than
yeah,
Oklahoma.
exactly. So if you're
But
looking at that,
with that, every metric seems to say that Michigan State is certainly deserving over Florida State.
yeah,
On the other hand, you could make two arguments. First of all, you could use the eye test and argue that Florida State is better than Michigan State. I'm not saying that's a convincing argument. I think you could argue it either way,
yeah,
but that's a legitimate reason to keep Florida State ahead. The other reason is just because make that three reasons. The second reason is poll inertia. Like MSU might have a hard time jumping Florida State just because they're already three slots below them, and Florida
yeah,
State, if they beat Florida, then you know voters would have a hard time moving them down. And
yeah,
then the third reason is that Florida State could win its conference, and
exactly.
I think that matters more in terms of the playoff, just because I think conference champions should be prioritized in the playoffs, but that's just my opinion. And
Now the
again, I
thing
have a vested interest in that.
is the big also overrated? I mean, there's a chance that's also a thing, but I don't think it is because I think we dominated the OOC, uh, if I remember correctly.
I'd like to see conference by conference out of conference records, but I mean the one like I know Minnesota lost to Texas, but I'm not sure how many marquee out of conference games. Oh, and there was one other marquee out of conference games that the Big Ten lost involving a pair of teams that wear red. Roll Tide. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had to say like it was
Hey,
there,
but
but
I did beat Notre Dame. I had to play Notre Dame, Bama, and then I think it was like Penn State and then Michigan State within like a string of 5 weeks, and I went
tough
3-1. I call that a good run. I think Indiana was in between there too, though,
the Kamau
somewhere.
Davis revenge game that turned out not to be.
Yeah,
Had
I
a
might have
good
just
game though.
misreported some stuff there. That might have been or that could have been inaccurate. I'm pretty sure that happened though, because I definitely remember playing Notre Dame and then Bama. Because I think it started off like I played NC State, Syracuse, and Washington, and then it went to shit for me where it got difficult, and it's kind of leveled off here again. And now we'll play Michigan, and we'll see what happens this week. I'm optimistic that I'll finish off 11-1, which is better than last year when I lost twice in like the middle of the season. And I lost. I was 4-0, lost to Penn State, lost to Minnesota the following week. I want to say I lost to Iowa last year too, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know,
Yeah,
but
you haven't been around long enough.
yeah.
Uh,
Thing is, I technically joined in like January, but I chose a team that wasn't playing this year, so I just kind of faded into the background until
yep,
season two started.
yep, I understand.
I was a few hours away from getting Duke, but I don't regret that at this point.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
I'm sure I could have whipped
It
Duke into
was.
shape though.
I was one. I think I was on the site literally as it was posted on our CFB, and like the first time he actually posted the actual link to the site, and then I think I waited a bit to post my job application because I lied about my age technically because I wasn't 18 at the time.
Oh, you thought you
And
had to be 18?
no, it wasn't that. I just didn't. I didn't want people to be like stupid minor coming on here, 17-year-old bitch. Like I didn't want people to know I was in high school at the time. Uh, but I mean, I was a month away from being 18, so it wasn't that big a deal to me. I think I had a friend who was on the site as well. I think he maybe super lied about his age and said he was like 21 or something. Uh, but he was 17 as well because I think he was born in like October, but he was in our grade for whatever reason.
So yeah,
Um,
your reputation for playing fast and loose with age isn't really being helped right now.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, whatever. I was talking to Jada at first. There was only technically like a 1 year age. Well, no, I take that back. It would have been two at that time. But that's still okay. That's still completely legal.
Okay.
I was like a day into being
Word,
an adult.
word is uh, word is Saloon is on the final two games at this point.
I think he's actually on the last
Uh,
game now.
all right, we'll have the results fairly soon then.
Yeah, I'm a little wait no because
You
isn't
don't play yet. This
yeah I
is
know
afternoon games. I'm the one who's got to be nervous right now. We're about to go into Manhattan, Kansas, the lesser version of Manhattan, uh,
yeah
the little
by
brother
far.
of the state, the like KSU, CKS.
Uh,
Um, let's see, what other ways can I describe Kansas State?
just keep going, man.
Let's see. The I don't know. They're just terrible, you know. They
Yeah.
always think like I remember. I mean, they remember when they were what number one in the country and then just got walloped by Baylor. I mean, I can understand losing to Baylor, but
Yeah.
getting walloped by them like that, come on, man.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, like it's probably like how Michigan feels about Michigan State or Duke and UNC feel about NC State, Oklahoma about Oklahoma State. Just, I mean, Ohio State. Do you really have a little brother school? Because Ohio is like in a
Oh,
different.
yeah.
Like, I mean, they're not really like you don't really compete with them though. Like
Yeah, I
you're
think
in two different playing distance.
I think Michigan's our little brother school. They never really seem to be up there with us these days.
Okay, Michigan is not your little brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
It's like UNC is not Duke's little brother. They're
Yeah,
they're,
yeah, I know.
they're twin brothers.
Well, see, I'd say that yeah, twin brothers that hate each other.
Yeah.
Uh, like me and Dream. But no, I'd say what was I gonna say? I think NC State's still on that same wavelength as Duke and
No.
UNC.
No. They're not. They
I mean,
look.
okay,
Let me point out one stat.
okay.
NC State's most recent conference championship in basketball or football happened a longer time ago than Duke's most recent conference championship in football.
That is. Wait, wasn't
They they,
Duke good
they
in like
have
the 80s though?
yeah, 1989. State
Yep.
hasn't
See.
State hasn't won anything for like 30 years now. They haven't won a national title in basketball since 1983. They've won two total, whereas Duke and Carolina have won twice and two and a half times that each. And I don't want Carolina coming at me with that 1924 title. That is not a national championship. Uh, State is the little brother. Wake Forest is the weird cousin who lives down the street and nobody likes to talk about. And ECU, they're the one everyone forgets about until they beat Carolina or State, as
Yeah, I
they did
think
this year.
actually ECU and North Carolina State are actually huge rivals. I'm pretty sure, or they were back in the day,
I think
according to
ECU
like.
hates State more than State's capable of hating ECU.
Yeah, I don't think State gives a shit about ECU. ECU's just like fuck you, State, and State's like, dude, what are you talking about? You're in like
And State
the
doesn't realize that and
conference
State doesn't realize that
USA.
Carolina does the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like there's some you gotta respect State a little more though than
I don't know about that. What,
because
like, what
you
do I?
think about like State's a good like mid or like mid level team. They're always like average
Why do I
at least.
why do I want to respect average?
Well, I mean, hey, 6-6 can still beat you. That can still be one of the 6 wins. Like UNC's football team's not very good,
They're
and
better than
Duke's
State.
football team. Well, yeah, State was
Like
shit last year.
no, I mean
State.
they've been better than State for. I mean, Uh, State did have that 5-game win streak over UNC that ended a couple of years ago. UNC's won
Yeah.
2 now,
I mean,
coinciding with
because
losing to Duke both those years as well. But UNC has a better football program than State's had for a while now. State's
well, and
only saving
then
grace is that they've been able to beat UNC. Although I
what?
will add, with UNC, their main virtue is just getting ranked in the preseason and then never panning out. Whereas Duke, we never raise expectations that high. That's
And
our
then
key.
you also have the fact that UNC's whole academic thing with athletes is just kind of like, meh, here's a fake class.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like
So you have that part going into. Uh,
that, and that feeds into my superiority complex as a Duke fan. And since I am a Duke fan, obviously I do feel superior to UNC because they think we feel superior to everything.
yeah.
They're not 100% wrong.
Uh-huh. Now there's another thing. Like, I knew this guy. He went to my high school. He had like $1 million in scholarships. Did not get into Duke, and then he got into UNC, and he wound up going to UNC. But I think he wanted to go to Duke, so it's kind of weird. Because I feel like maybe he was a Duke fan, and now he's supporting UNC because he got in there.
Which he
Seems
should.
a little,
You should
yeah,
go for your alma mater, in my opinion. But I mean,
yeah,
whatever works for you. Like, I mean, I
yeah,
might have still rooted for Duke even if I'd gone to UNC, which was a legitimate possibility. It's in-state tuition, but
yeah.
I don't know.
See, with me, I probably should be going to NC State in the fall, but I didn't apply because I was just like, you know what? It's not on the Common App. Why would I apply to school? One of these schools will accept me, right? Right? And then it was like, nope. So now I'm going to community college for 2 years. I might want to go into state after that though, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, good luck
Future.
after
Yeah,
those 2 years.
yeah,
Like,
thank you. I'm not even
like
sure I can pay for community college. I'll probably have to take out a loan. I'm just lazy as shit sometimes. As evidenced by the fact that I didn't want to play NC State because it wasn't on a Common App.
yeah, that's probably not the best habit to be in. Like,
Yeah,
I mean that yeah, like going into college, like it's a it's not that you can get away with not doing like you can get away with not always doing the readings in college. It's just that it'll catch up to you on the test.
oh yeah. See, I think I'll have the work ethic down by then because I've realized like I'm an idiot at this point, and I actually am gonna try to work so I can actually make sure I get into like a decent school after community college because I don't want to go into like the middle of nowhere. I like to be able to go somewhere. I'd like to be able to choose where I'd like to go, and not maybe get into one school and be like, I'm not going to community college anymore. I have to pay 9,000 or $40,000 to go to the school, and wind up with a shit ton of debt and hope that my career pans out well with me. But oh God, it's gonna put tears will flow tonight.
Uh-oh.
That's scary.
And
Oh
meanwhile, I'm
God,
actually refreshing the games page, hoping
I
that's
just wait till I see
happening.
games up, or I hope it's able to be seen from the. Oh God, or he just simulated like the first game. But I'm scared. Dean's tears, please. There's no way he simmed that game, Sophos, if you can hear me.
Yeah, that's a night game.
You're just being optimistic. And I won't cry if I lose. Will I be disappointed? Yeah, it's a simulation. Do I really care that much? Not really. Was I really sad when that banner got taken down? Hell yeah. I was really sad. That was just like a shit week for me, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure that was also the same time frame as prom for me. So that was just bad. That was just a bad week. Rest in peace, OSU's entire team. Okay, I really need
One,
these games to be
one,
posted here.
1, 2. The pipe is coming for you.
Should it be like 1, 2 pipes? I guess it's the pipes
The
coming for you.
put it this way,
Three,
the
four.
rhythm that
Not
both of you have on your
yeah.
various 1 2 is awful.
Yeah, I
Like you need
know.
to work on that. Like
Oh, and let's
you
work
need
it
to
out right
learn what
now.
you both need to learn what iambic pentameter is.
1, 2. Fuck you. 3, 4.
That
Your mother is
works.
a whore. Your mother's a whore. 3, 4. Your mom's a whore. 5, 6. Whatever I said. Oh, was it your team sucks dicks? 7, 8. What was this? 7, 8. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what my 7, 8 was. Oh, it was 7, 8. Ohio State's great. 9, 10. We'll win the Big Ten. Which
Uh,
you can't rhyme 10 with 10. So I think I thought of another one, but I
games
forgot what
up.
it was.
Games up.
Game's up. Game's up.
Game's up. Game's up.
Okay, so first game we have SMU at ECU, and ECU won as I predicted,
Yep.
20 to
Just
7.
got the 17-0 halftime lead early and just held on throughout. Stephen
Arkansas
Wilkinson,
LSU. Yeah,
yeah, Stephen Wilkinson, 24 of 47. Not a good game for him.
that's not good. Yeah, no, you need to do better than that if you're gonna win games.
Georgia
ECU
Tech won.
did a bit. Oh
Wait,
my God,
wait,
Georgia
what?
Tech won. Really?
Yep.
You skipped
Whoa,
forward did
okay.
that? Holy shit,
Game-winning
he's
field
not even.
goal at the end of
Weathersby did it. Oh my God.
43
Oh
yards
my
out.
God. Tears
Oh,
will actually
poor.
flow. Holy shit. I am so sorry. Oh God, I feel bad for Franz. I
All
can't
right.
believe that happened. Trey won't even know this happened.
Kansas
Oh
won.
my God.
Alabama shut out Auburn.
How accurate was my Kansas
Virginia
prediction?
Tech won
LSU
too.
came back
My
from
Kansas prediction was pretty close. Uh,
30. I was actually 3 points off on each team. Like I had 31 17
damn it.
Kansas.
Arizona State won, so that means the Pac-12 gets another slot. See, I don't like Michigan, but I still hope he gets a bowl.
Let's see, James
Just cause.
Otero, 20 carries for 129 yards and 3 touchdowns,
Okay, so wait, who's
meaning
the
he
other
had
team?
completed the regular.
Okay, so Virginia lost. So what does that mean for the
LSU and
ACC? Because
Alabama both
wasn't
won.
Virginia? So that means UNC is
Wait, Virginia
going.
lost? Oh, Virginia got crushed
Okay,
too.
so that
UNC will play in
yeah,
the
Virginia
ACC
got
championship
smacked,
game.
31 to 7.
Ouch. Yeah, I guess
Okay,
it's
so
real life all over
that's an
again.
interesting turn of events. So now,
Okay, let's go
if
ahead and go
Georgia
through.
wins,
If Georgia, whoa, look at the second
I feel
quarter
like
for
Franz
Georgia
was
Georgia Tech.
seven.
Look at the
Oh,
second quarter of Georgia Tech. Dwayne Brightpool,
okay.
66-yard fake punt touchdown run to give Georgia Tech a 14-7 lead. It wasn't the lead they'd hold, but wow, Georgia Tech went wildcat, didn't they?
Yeah, they must have. Wow, just weird. That is.
They rushed for 180 yards and a touchdown.
How the hell do you
Pass
even get your team to do fake punts? That's
that has to be a wildcat. Like that's
yeah,
the
I
only
guess
high
it
risk,
has
high
to be
reward thing out
Wildcat.
there.
That or he randomly put in his game plan, hey, never punt, run fake punts, please. Just throwing that in there. Make that a thingamajigger. Thanks, Saluna. You're the bestest.
See, so
Best
watch.
fun engine.
All right, so let's just go. Let's just give a rundown of each of the scores. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen them, but just
Yeah.
let's go through them. So final score in Greenville, ECU 20, SMU 7.
Yeah.
In Fayetteville, Arkansas, LSU 28, Arkansas 17. So that means LSU will clinch a share of the division championship. Alabama
Hmm.
20, Auburn nothing in Tuscaloosa. Alabama also clinches a share of the division. Uh,
Okay.
I believe that eliminates Ole Miss, right?
Yeah, so if Ole Miss loses,
Ole
LSU
Miss
goes
is out
through.
either way.
Yeah, Ole Miss is out now. Unless Ole Miss randomly gets put above Alabama in the polls.
Yeah.
So Ole
Notre Dame
Miss,
17, Miami 16 in Miami. Notre
yeah,
Dame scored the game-winning points on a field goal with 9 minutes to play, and Miami missed a field goal at the end of regulation in the first half. Sorry, the end of the first half, not end of regulation in the first half. Uh, In Charlottesville, Virginia Tech 31, Virginia 7. Both teams finished 7-5 on the season, and obviously that sends UNC to the ACC championship game. Kansas 34, Kansas State 14. Harvey Fagan completed fewer than half of his passes, threw an interception for the fifth straight game, and
Yeah.
Otero 3 touchdown runs.
Hmm.
Arizona State 24, Arizona 21. Scored the game-winning points on a field goal with over 10 minutes to play, and Arizona State will go bowling.
So that means there will be 7 bowl-eligible Pac teams.
Yes, and if USC goes to the playoffs, then that won't be a problem for the Pac-12. That's really more of a problem for the Big Ten and the SEC and the
Yeah.
ACC. I was wrong on Pittsburgh, Penn State. Sorry, Luna. Penn State 17, Pittsburgh 7. James Dale 28 of 50 for 250 yards, but only 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Penn State scored
Hey.
both touchdowns on the ground. Of course, Georgia Tech 23, Georgia number 6, Georgia 21, thanks to 2 Brad Weathersby field goals in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Franz. You know what, Franz? Just beat the hell out of Bama. Just take it all out on probably Bama.
Please do. Please do. Please do. And
We're all
then
rooting for
Washington
you.
24, Washington State 0. That Washington State's quarterback 15 of 47 for 165 yards and an interception. Like completed fewer than 32% of his passes. That's Georgia State-esque right there.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, so Trey was running the Wildcat. Why? I don't even. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's just. He did it because. Yeah, and that's an interesting thing for Franz too. Both of his losses came in the last second on a field goal, I
Yeah.
believe. Or maybe the first one wasn't because of field goal.
First one was I'm
That's-
fairly sure it was the last second field goal to
Yeah, I think
bookend
so
the
too,
regular
but-
season for him.
Yeah, that's just.
That is tough.
That is brutal. Kafka Curse has extended itself to just being game-ending field goals at the end of seasons, maybe, or at the start and end of seasons. That's just, oh god, I don't even know. That's just horrible.
And so, Mhm. And while Georgia Tech won't go bowling, they finished 5-7. This win has got to be sweeter for them than any bowl game could have been.
I think it would be interesting if Weathersby would have missed that kick, because I feel like that would have been a better ending, just because he makes them all year,
Yeah, that would
and then
have.
miss.
Better like depending on what you're looking for. Like if it's an underdog movie, then sure. If it's I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, see, I just feel like it would have been interesting to see that happen. Obviously, an underdog movie, Georgia Tech makes the kick. In most scenarios, Georgia Tech makes the kick for the underdog story.
And
Because usually,
actually, Georgia Tech, Brad Weathersby was the only Georgia Tech player to score after halftime. Kicked 3 field goals.
it sounds like
What?
I said that sounds like Georgia Tech.
Yeah. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a terrible engineer. A terrible, terrible, horrible, terrible, terrible engineer. Yeah, Duke hasn't beaten them in real life in 10 years now. So, but anyway, at least, even though the real life Georgia Tech's had trouble beating Georgia, this has got to be a pretty big win for them anyway. So, I don't know, maybe kind of makes you wonder what the Yellow Jackets could have done if they hadn't changed schemes in the middle of the season. That sort of marked their downturn.
They'd probably at least be bowl eligible.
Oh, they'd certainly be bowl eligible.
I still understand the loss.
They wouldn't have lost Duke, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't even know what he was doing. That was just stupid. A lot of stupid decisions were made in a very short amount of time. I don't know what Trey was doing. And then he gets lucky and beats Georgia.
I mean, at the very least, it made sense if he was going to scheme change to do it against Duke, because TCU did the same thing and won by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's just, the word is he double scheme changed, which
Yeah.
I don't know why you do that, but I'm not the coach. It's his decision. Georgia Tech was 4-2 at the time, and this is their only win since then.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Trey's doing down there, man. It's just some crazy stuff. But I'd like to touch on the SEC because it should be decided tonight, the conference championship game. I think that's the only one left up in the air, isn't it?
Um, Pac-12.
Oh wait, yeah, Pac-12 still up in the air slightly.
But yeah, AAC set Boise, ECU, ACC, FSU, UNC, Big Ten, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Big 12, Kansas, Baylor, and then Pac-12 and SEC. We don't know yet.
But the Pac-12 will be USC taking on challenger from that'll either be
From the
Washington or
Pacific
Oregon,
Northwest,
and
from
then you
Cascadian.
have and then you have
Let's see. So,
Georgia taking on either
wait,
Bama or
hold on
LSU.
a second. So, did LSU beat Alabama or did Alabama beat LSU?
LSU beat Bama. Bama beat
Okay.
Ole Miss. Ole Miss beat LSU. So now
Okay,
what
so
happens
that
is,
means that means they're both looking at Ole Miss. If Ole Miss wins, it's likely Alabama. If Ole Miss loses and LSU wins the division, the SEC will miss the playoff.
well, no, 'cause I think there might still be that chance to put Bama in.
I mean, I don't I don't think you can. I'm not sure if you can justify. I'm not sure if you can justify Bama over a conference champion. But again, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, well, if it winds up being down between Bama and then like Kansas and Michigan State for the final slot, then I think you'd say Bama, just because they're what, the number 4 team in the country right now, so they technically have a
Currently number
slot
four, yeah.
in. Um, so if Ole Miss loses, LSU's in. If Ole Miss wins, Bama's in. Basically, is what's going to happen,
Yep.
unless the poll does something super weird and winds up
And then of
randomly
course
voting something else.
there's also the chance of Georgia beating the SEC West
Oh
champion
yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yeah. That's true.
which I'm rooting for. I like Franz. I hope he can take home the SEC even if he can't get the playoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just have to see how the rest of the division unfolds in the night
Mhm.
games.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting. Now the night games are gonna be super interesting. Obviously, a lot of good big games going up tonight. In two meetings. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of big games. The Ohio State Michigan the game. I can talk about
Go
that.
blue.
Just please no. Just let's not do that. I don't
Go
want to see
blue.
that. You know what? How about this? If Ohio State loses against Michigan, I will put in a job application for Toledo. I will do it. I'm just going to announce that right now. I'm already wearing the hat, Rocket Power. Uh,
Are you sure? Never make a promise you don't fully
you
intend to
know,
keep.
I mean, I don't care. I do have some animosity towards being the Ohio State head coach on this site, just because I don't like seeing OSU get shit on constantly.
I'm a Duke fan on our college basketball.
Yeah, see, that's the same thing as being an Ohio State fan on here.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
then
mean,
you also, but see, like you get love on our CFB
I
because you're
mean,
Duke.
no, I also get
You
a
like
lot
the,
of comments that just sort of fly under the radar because people aren't looking out for Duke. They
yeah,
like they upvote each other, but
yeah,
yeah. Also, get the other side of the coin is that on our college basketball, Duke fans upvote each other as well. So it's like, you
yeah,
know, whereas here, I guess Ohio State, there's only one Ohio State.
exactly. So you just get shit on constantly by everybody because everybody hates.
But on the other hand, it's not like you're Boise. Like
Yeah,
it's like everyone here hates Boise for some reason. Like I'm not 100% sure what it is. I think it's some combination of like them being really good, Ka being a
yeah.
good coach, and also he doesn't always stop by the shout
Somebody
box
hates
as
him.
often as the rest of us. So it's like uh, it's like almost hating a faceless team rather than hating a
Yeah,
team that actually has a coach with it.
yeah, exactly. It's like the only time I've seen COD really do anything was like last night whenever Brian Brown got injured, or very early this morning technically. Uh, but yeah, that's the only time I've seen anything. And Saluna just posted, "LOL, the Ohio State fan is crying about being shit on. It's glorious." That's great. But
It
yeah,
is
no,
kind of
I
funny
will.
though.
There's no tears. I don't know if you can tell since I'm wearing these sunglasses, but I'm completely dry in the eyes right now. That's not really true, but
everywhere else.
yeah, I'm completely
So
dry everywhere.
it's okay, your eyes will be so much better after you lose to Michigan this
Oh yeah,
evening.
sure. I don't know because actually I don't think the Toledo coach feels anything about losing to Michigan. Toledo coach doesn't care. That's the alternate version of me now. I wore this hat as a joke, expecting Ted to be here, uh, and then he wasn't. But I still had the hat on. So I threw on the sunglasses. Look, let's just make the big thing out of this. I know I look ridiculous because you can totally see my screen in the lenses because these are the real sunglasses, are just like fake. So it makes it really hard to see my phone screen. And Selena just posted "fuck Ohio." Thanks, Selena. You're the best mod ever.
I mean,
I'm
it's
still
true.
confused on who. I mean, I still want to get back to the fact that I never figured out who. Did we ever figure out who edited my shout?
I have no
I thought
idea.
that was still very confusing because I posted self wrecked, and then it was changed to go blue, and
I
Ted said
think
he Ted
I think
couldn't do
you're
it.
I think you're just imagining things.
No, because that happened. I never said go blue. I can guarantee that happened.
No,
Sofa
I think
said he
I
didn't
think
do
you
it.
had a crisis of conscience. That's
Nah, okay.
blue.
Now Franz didn't said he didn't do it, and I trust Franz. I don't think Franz is a liar. Danger said he didn't do it, and
I still think
Saloon
you
never
actually typed.
commented.
I think you actually typed "Go Blue."
I did not. It said self-wrecked because I put it right after
I
Sophos did. So then I assumed Sophos changed it, and then oh no, I do realize I do. Selena, in case you're curious, I do realize you went to Penn State. Um, but yeah, I'm still curious on who changed it to go blue. That was just weird. I'd like to see someone just be like, okay, with me, I don't even care. It's just like a huge mystery. It's kind of like on How I Met Your Mother with the whole pineapple thing. It was never solved why the pineapple was there. I don't know if you get that reference or not, but I know Ted would. I'm pretty sure. I want to say that's accurate.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
yeah, with How I Met Your Mother, it's really too bad that they had to cancel the show right before the finale.
yeah, it was weird.
Like,
Why they didn't end the show, or why they didn't
it was,
show a finale? I mean, I wanted to figure out how they met. I wanted to figure out how they met the mother or the kids. I wanted this the resolution, you know.
yeah, but maybe it was just to be left up to our imagination. Like maybe they just decided, however
Like
they could show it.
The
Huh?
Like the Sopranos, were
Yeah,
just
like The
then
Sopranos.
left up to your imagination.
Yeah, because maybe they just decided they couldn't do it justice.
Yeah. Can we get a fuck Michigan too? If we're gonna say fuck Ohio, I'd like a fuck
No,
Michigan.
no.
Because let's face it,
Michigan's cool.
Michigan's no, Michigan's not cool.
For now, for this week they are. As long as they serve my interests. Of
Okay.
course,
Well,
after
yeah,
after
but
after this week, of course, I'll hate Michigan again. But right now they're doing useful stuff.
well, are they doing useful stuff? You don't even know they've done anything yet. They could
True.
lose really badly.
They're attempting to do useful stuff.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is, fuck Michigan. If you want to say fuck Ohio, cool, but you gotta say fuck Michigan too if you're not Michigan. That's all I'm saying.
No,
You can root for them this
no,
week, but
Michigan's cool. Michigan's
nah,
cool for
man.
now.
I don't think so, man. No. Hanover is the loosest. Thank you, Saluna. And I needed to see that. I was really down today. and then I get that brings me right back up. So I think we should probably sign off here sometime in the near future, don't you think?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think we're probably out of stuff to talk about until the evening games.
yeah, and then I will be doing NFL. You wouldn't be doing that. You don't know anything about NFL apparently, or you don't follow it as much. Yeah, that would be. Well, maybe that'll happen. Who knows? I could just be lying right now. Dream will not be on the podcast. Dream just he started to a shell of what he once was. Uh, Now he's just kind of
Maybe,
nightmare.
yeah, and his loss to UCLA tonight won't help either.
Yeah, it'll just be I live in a nightmaratorium after tonight. So I guess this has been college game day. It started off very slowly, and then it turned into one of Saluna's favorite additions. So I'm Hi there, the head coach of the Toledo Rockets, signing off,
And I'm hi there, coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, signing off.
and this has been College Game Day from Columbus and Stop Broadcast.